It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
So where's the office, back at Division? The in office, baby. Going up.
All right, outstanding to have you guys along for the ride today. I feel like this had to be playing in Ice Cube's vehicle, bringing the World Series trophy in. Maybe or maybe not. All right, it's good to have you aboard. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and CB. Boys, how we feeling?
It's a Freaky Friday, man. I'm feeling good. I know we had some rain going on not too long ago, but looking ahead the next couple of days, it looks like that temperature is going to be sitting right around 70 degrees, so that's always a nice little vibe to have going into the weekend. So life is good, sports are sporting, and I cannot complain at all.
Matty, you know the 3 seasons of Rothman and Ice, and we've come out of the cold. We're going to wet now. Yeah. So we're in the wet season, and then we'll be in the hot season. That's it. That's Ohio. We embrace it. We love it. Cold, wet, and hot. The 3 Ohio seasons. All right, we will get after it today with overs and unders this hour. Dave Biddle will jump on in the second hour from Bucknuts on the Money. We'll talk Buckeye football with him. J-Lou, our very first chin music.
Let's go.
We'll be throwing out. And, of course, we'll talk Sweet 16, a lot of NFL today, and try to capture the flag on which quarterback could land in Cleveland, and they all seem to be visiting. Are they staying? So we'll figure that out. The one thing that I usually don't get too caught up in is times of games. I know that some shows do it, and it makes sense to say it because we all hate it. Last night, it kind of hit home for me. Those 2 games were both in doubt with 5 minutes to go, and I looked at the clock, and it was 12:30.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like, I get it, but it's not Friday. It was Thursday. Like, I don't know. I know what we're trying to. I know what they're trying to do. They want.
Well, it was technically Friday.
Was technically Friday.
At 12:30 this morning.
Okay, thank you. Well done. Well, hang on, CB.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
All right, yeah, he got it. You're right. But they started on Thursday, technically, is the point. I would say that kind of rocked me. I was like, and as soon as Arkansas blew that game, and listen, it comes down to a lot of times, and coaches struggle with this all the time, and I see it all the time. You need the big dudes on the floor for rebounding, but they become a liability once they get the ball. And at that time, it was Adu, I think, who got the rebound. He gets fouled. It's a 6'11 guy. He's 62%. First of all, I don't know how his free throw percentage could be so good at Tennessee, like 85. It went like 85, 75, like 63 and 62, like in his career.
Stop putting in that work.
I tell you. So he goes to the line with about 30 seconds left and bricks the free throw, and you know, here comes Tech, and Arkansas has already blown a 16-point lead?
Yep.
They've blown the lead, and I'll give it, I don't remember who hit it, but man, he was ice water.
Williams, that bucket in overtime you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the one that tied in reg.
Oh, yeah.
One that tied at the end of reg. So once that game went to overtime, you know what happens in overtime. It's where underdogs go to die. And when you have them, you got to take them all the way, and you put a 6'11 dude on the line with a chance to put him up 4 to make it a 2-possession game. He can't. The confidence spills to the other team. Then in overtime, and I don't know where you stood on it, but I have no problem with Calipari not calling a timeout. I really don't. You would give Tech the chance to reset their defense. Now, what he wanted to get, he didn't get. He wanted to have his guy taking the ball to the rim to force the defense to foul because they can't foul because they're up 2, and you tie the game, or maybe you get an and 1 or whatever, but you feel like you could get into double overtime. And what had happened was he never got to the rim. It was just great defense, and they forced him into kind of a contested jumper, and there you go. And Arkansas, we hardly knew you.
See, I would have liked, if I were an Arkansas fan, to see Cal call that timeout. Let's reset, draw up our best play. Let's draw up our best play in this critical moment and try to get after their defense. Obviously, that didn't happen. And credit to Darian Williams, just amazing bucket that he hit in overtime. But also credit Tech for going down on the other end and putting together a really good defensive possession. Like, I know Williams is going to get talked about because of that bucket, but you go back and you look at what they did on defense, and they were swarming. They were all over the place, and that's what you needed, is to not allow Arkansas to get off a clean look, and they didn't do it. And so the game was absolutely bananas. You mentioned the 16-point deficit that they faced midway through the second half. I mean, that's the second largest comeback in the Sweet 16. So you're right. I love what you said about the underdog. When you have that team on the ropes, and I know when you have John Calipari on the sideline, you're not really perceived as an underdog, but the rankings, 3 seed versus 10 seed. No. They were an underdog in the game. Tech's been a tremendous program. You have to knock them out with some type of blow. So that game was an absolute banger. And then you just look at what Duke and Alabama did on offense in the other 2 games, and they just absolutely were cooking. Cooper Flagg was just as advertised and just filled up the stat sheet. I mean, became the first player with 35 and 5 and 1 or few turnovers in a tournament game since Chris Mullins in 1985. So that dude's going to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft. He woke up in the second half because he kind of started slow in the game. Flagg did. Only had 3 points to the first 12 minutes, and Duke just put it on full display and just showed why they could overwhelm teams with the talent they have, led by Cooper Flagg. And that's why all these NBA teams are trying to capture the flag, because he is that dude.
I will tell you that when we did our, which team could get upset if possible, Duke was not, the way that half ended was tremendous for Duke, with Flagg pulling up from wherever he pulled up, and they went up 6. They were in trouble. I would never say that I'm worried for Duke. Like, it's too strong. They're too good to be worried for them. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to give up 50 plus to Arizona in a half,
not a great formula.
It's not who you're playing next
for your next game.
I haven't even looked at the spread. I don't know what it is.
Oh, what is that?
But I'm probably going to tease Bama up to whatever I can and feel good about it. I told you guys before the tournament, the one prediction I had before the tournament, which was no double-digit seed would get to the Sweet 16, was wrong. I think we had 1, right, CB? Was Arkansas the only one? So we only had 1. What we sacrificed early on in the tournament, we are the beneficiaries of now, because every game we are getting no undercards. These are heavyweight battles now to the end of time, and that's what's beautiful. If we weren't going to have Cinderella, and I have no problem with Cinderella. I think it's fun. I think it's what makes March Madness cool, is when you get that unknown team to kind of take out a big boy or a bracket to break their way, and then they get the dream of me being naive that's still alive, that let's do it for all the small schools that didn't have a chance to be here and all that. I buy into that. That's me. I'm a sap. I like it. But now that I don't have it, I can definitely appreciate what we're seeing. I think that Bama team gave up almost 90 and coasted. They are unbelievable. But here we are with, where are we now? We're 1-2 Duke Bama. Mm-hmm. We're now going to be 1-3 with Florida Tech.
Yep.
And then we'll see what happens tonight, and we'll go over that later in the show.
Yeah, Bama's offense is just filthy good. Filthy good.
Tell them about the threes, Matty.
My goodness. I mean, it's an NCAA record. 3-pointers made in a tourney, and then 3-pointers attempted in a tournament game at 51 is a NCAA March Madness.
Which the record, the attempted one was broken. They broke Texas Tech's, who said it just earlier in this tournament.
Yeah, that's
how many threes did they make?
They
25?
Yes, 25. Right.
So
25 threes.
So here I'll do some quick math.
Mm-hmm.
This is the difference, folks, if you didn't watch it or didn't maybe you just weren't invested enough. Alabama made 25 threes. That's 75 points on threes. BYU made 6.
What's that math?
That's 18. That's 57-point differential on threes.
That's what they can do to you. And then when they're one of their best players, if not their best player, Sears, finally clicked from the 3-point line. I mean, the last 6 games coming into last night's game against BYU, he was 5 of 35 from 3. That's 14%. He knocked down 10 of them last night, which is just, a couple shy or 1 shy from the tournament record. And that was set by, I think Jeff Fryer from Loyola Marymount. He knocked in 11 of them. So I got Bama getting to the title game, but it's do or die with them. It's the dangerous game you play with Alabama, because that's the peak of what they do. But those valleys, if those shots aren't following, and that's where they can get into a very, very weird spot. But it's all going to be about their defense next game and what they can do against Flag in the game from Duke. But you're right. This is a heavyweight fight. This is a banger coming up on deck that we're going to get, and I'm so here for it.
Bama getting 7. Ooh. I teased that up to 10, pair it with some stuff, and away we go. All right, and the other thing I wanted to mention this morning or this afternoon, who knows, I was up so late, I have no clue. Did you see the end of the Lakers-Bulls game?
It was one of those things where it was like, this is a movie.
Okay.
This is the end of a movie.
This is the way things are supposed to end.
It was insane.
It was also because, listen, LeBron had the tip-in buzzer beater.
The night before.
The night he took the flamethrower to Stephen A.
Against the Pacers.
Yeah, so
Indy.
he goes.
Yeah.
So Indy, he has the moment. So he is feeling incredible. And then last night, it was like Stephen A's revenge. It was like, I'll tell you what, I'll play this for you when we come back.
Yeah.
Because I do believe, and I hope you haven't heard it. I hope you haven't heard
Stacey's call.
You have?
Oh, of course.
All right, I'm
It
mad
was
that you
amazing.
have, but maybe there are people out there that have.
Yeah.
No, all right,
It's also-
so
we
play
gotta
it again.
play it again.
So Stacey King is on the broadcast of the Bulls. We'll do that when we come back, and then we'll get into Ohio State football and everything that James Laurinaitis has in his room, and we'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, priority access to Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Act now. Visit BlueJackets.com/tickets.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.50%, APR 6.56% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-THIRD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today?
How?
You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmans.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding this. Zoom, boom, sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check?
Oui.
Yes, of course. A sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pump.
Some pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich is caught up in the madness, and he's passing it to you for a slam dunk of deals. He's got rates as low as 0%, leases starting from $249 a month. How about a 2025 Honda Prologue all-wheel drive Elite? Lease it for $297 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $19.99 down. And he's even throwing you an extra $1,000 for your trade. More than 500 new and pre-owned to choose from. See dealer for details at Germain Honda of Dublin.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. We're looking at a few scattered showers, maybe some thunder into the first part of the afternoon. That comes to an end with some sunshine even possible by the end of the day. Highs in the 70s. We'll look for temperature tonight down to around 60. Partly cloudy skies. Mostly cloudy Saturday. Dry during the day. Rain showers by Saturday night into Sunday. We'll see those rain showers turn to strong to severe storms by the second half of the day Sunday, so stay weather aware. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony's tennis shorts were so tight, they had to pixelate his crotch. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Full restriction. All right, we'll get into the Buckeyes here in a moment. I'm rarely into, although we're getting late in the year, and certainly the Bulls aren't great, but the Lakers are trying to do something here with Luka and LeBron, and then coming off all the LeBron, Stephen A stuff. You know, I've been paying a little more attention, but it was hard to miss this one. It was hard to miss the Bulls and what they did, being down 6 and being able to hit a 3, and then LeBron. Now the Lakers are up 3, and LeBron just kind of lays the ball out on a very lazy inbound, easy steal for the Bulls. They pop another 3 to take the lead. Lakers, what you're going to hear is the Lakers being down 1, I believe, and with seconds left, they're going to retake the lead. And then so Stacey King, the former Bull himself, way back in the day. He was a first rounder with the Bulls, came out of Oklahoma, lost in the title game when there was an all Big 8 deal between Kansas and Oklahoma when Danny Manning beat Stacey King in the final. But we advanced to present day, and here are the final seconds with the Lakers retaking the lead, and then the Bulls trying to win it in desperation time with no timeouts, couple seconds, half-court heave coming.
Doncic took the final shot before that. Here's Reeves. Reeves straight to the cup, plays it in to take the lead. Bulls are out of timeouts. 2 seconds left. Giddy for the win. Go!
My God! I cannot believe this. Elizabeth, I'm coming, baby. Oh, Lord.
Improbable.
Unbelievable.
Impossible.
Magic Giddy. Good day, mate. Somewhere in Australia, Sydney, or Melbourne. Paul Hogan and somebody there. Crocodile Dundee. Oh, Lord.
Just losing his mind.
So
credit to Adam Amin, too. He's really good on the call, too. That's the play-by-play voice you hear.
So Josh Giddey, the kid from Melbourne, Australia, who hit that shot, half-court shot. The big thing for, obviously his energy and excitement. How could you not think about this? Bulls hit a 3, steal the inbound, hit another 3, give up the lead, then hit a half-court to win at the buzzer at home against LeBron and Luka and the Lakers. Like, you're right, it was a movie. What made it for me, and this is going to date everything, is so the whole Elizabeth, I'm coming to greet you, I'm coming for you, is Sanford and Son. That's my
grandpa used to love
absolutely. So it's
that
Red Fox
show.
and it's Sanford and Son.
Yeah, man.
And when he'd fake the heart attack and all that, Elizabeth, I'm coming to, like, it was the best. And the fact that this guy had that in the repertoire to say it. And so the Bulls win 119-117. And
it was amazing. Yeah. And Giddey gets that inbounds, and he has like a clean runway to right about midcourt. He's getting a great look at the basket. And LeBron, he contested, but he's there like a hair too late. And Giddey just knocks it down. It was awesome. And then like the crowd reactions, and they zoom in on the one Laker fan, and he's just in the stand shook.
Can't believe it. It's a great shot.
Like, whatever. Yeah, so that dude's going to be a meme for a very, very long time. And I thought the tweet of the night goes to Rob Perez, big basketball Twitter follower, Twitter follow if you're a basketball fan, at Worldwide Wob. And he said, after all that's gone down this week, it is so damn appropriate what just happened to LeBron while he was in the Windy City because of the Brian Windhorst comment. It's amazing. I mean, that tweet was A1.
That is a great tweet. That is great because LeBron took, the flamethrower to Stephen A. And for some reason, there is, in the one part we didn't talk about yesterday with the Stephen A. LeBron beef, is that, there is some thought that Brian Windhorst was who went to school with LeBron and then covered him. I don't know the whole story, but he knew him at a very young age. And so when ESPN hired Brian Windhorst, everybody thought, well, this is just because he has full access to LeBron. They know each other. There's a personal side to this. We need to get him because he'll have more access and thought process for this great player. And if you've watched Brian Windhorst, he is about as tapped in and good. I love listening to him. I think he does a great job. I've never heard him really take LeBron. I think he's been very objective because he has to be, even though he's hired originally probably because of his connection to LeBron. And then LeBron, and he knows more than I do, obviously, but then LeBron out of nowhere yesterday on the Pat McAfee show says that, he's out there calling us best friends. And these guys, like, I don't know. I've never heard it. And then I heard a lot of media people protected Windhorst. Like, I've never had that experience with him. So whatever it is, I don't know.
It's great that we get this access with a lot of these athletes stepping out on these big-time platforms to do podcasts and all that stuff. But sometimes even when they do that on certain platforms, you don't get all the info. And so LeBron, I don't know if he was willing to divulge everything that he was talking about, but it didn't seem that way. Clearly, he felt slighted by something Wendy did over the years. I don't know. Only he knows. I wish we could have really found that out. But the whole Windy City tweet, Stephen A. LeBron beef that Stephen A. believes is rooted in LeBron not thinking he's better than Jordan, and LeBron and the Lakers losing on a buzzer beater in Jordan's house was just all weird how that all tied together.
Blundering that inbound like he almost was giving the ball away.
It was wild.
It was wild. All right, we come back home off the hoops and all the buzzer beater action, and we get back into this linebacker room. And there are a lot of people believe, and the right people believe, that Arvell Reese is going to be the guy to succeed Cody Simon as middle linebacker. He's been very good. He was very good last season. The guy that he's going to be joining is Sonny Styles. And then you've got other guys like Peyton Pierce and other guys that are certainly a part of packages and all that. Well, James Laurinaitis has talked about all of them with the media, and this is one of those positions that has some real high branding for Ohio State over the years. And when James kind of thinks about the tip of the iceberg there, it's about Sonny Styles.
He's the ultimate pro. He's been that way. Obviously his dad and mom have done a great job in kind of raising him and Lorenzo and kind of how they go about their business. Very intentional. I've been secretly pounding the table for Sonny Styles to play linebacker for really probably since I got here. You just saw that frame and you knew, like, just let the kid eat a cheeseburger and he'll get to the right weight. And like from day one that we said we're making the switch, man, he just wanted to work on his feet and work and work and work. He's the same way. I mean, you said the leader of the front seven. I think he's the leader of the entire team.
Just get the guy a Baconator. That's all he needed. Get him a Baconator. He'll be good. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to cook up this year on the field, because I think it could be similar to what Cody did this past year in the form of production and leadership. Like, Cody really put all that together and really, I think, probably helped Sonny out in a lot of things and the other guys in the room. But now Sonny's kind of the face of that linebacker room. The transition from safety to linebacker was always going to take some time for him to get used to it. You could just see him getting more comfortable throughout the season, and he was a key part, obviously, of them winning a national championship. So just, I think, big expectations for him, big shoes to fill as the leader of that room, but I think he's up for the challenge.
Listen, he played safety in high school, first couple years at Ohio State, and Like James even said it, like there was always thought that he could end up in the linebacker room long term. Like that was pretty much the plan, or at least in a lot of people's minds, even though he was still playing safety. And here's the thing, when you're already playing safety and you're built like a linebacker, like then everyone's tempted to say, let's, play the entire season at 235 pounds or whatever he's going to be. And the other part about when you're big and athletic, sometimes you have to learn how to read a play a little better, because you always feel like you can make up for gambles. That's the only thing I would see in Sonny right now, is that sometimes he got caught up in the wash a little bit just because of his athleticism. He felt like he could recover. But the coaching now that he's getting and his size and experience should be massive. The other guy that I just mentioned is Arvell Reese, and I talked about him succeeding Cody Simon there in the middle, and James loves Arvell Reese.
Arvell is so talented, so talented. Grateful here at Ohio State to have a guy that looks like Sonny and Arvell, and like the length and his ability to move around and position flex just makes him all the more valuable. I think what we're doing is we're realizing everything that Arvell Reese can do, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So that's a special talent. That's a special talent. And he has matured so much from 2 years ago. And what I always appreciate, and I mean this, what I appreciate about Arvell Reese is that he has the inability, he'll joke around, but when you ask him a question, he will tell you the honest to God's truth. And he don't care how silly it makes him seem. It doesn't matter. I've coached guys where there could be trips out there and hey, why didn't you walk? Well, I thought this, and they try to explain the whole thing. Arvell will just be I didn't even know there's trips out there. I didn't see it. He'll just tell you honestly, okay, well, we'll work on that, But that's what I appreciate about him. He's going to give you the absolute truth every single time.
That's what a coach wants, and what a player wants is honesty. So he's a really talented dude. He wants playing time. He deserves it. Everybody has to earn it over there. But he was part of that 23 Ohio State recruiting class, and he was a top 5 player in Ohio, Cleveland kid, at Ohio State, Glenville Pipeline, all that. And so I would think that he would be a very, very important household name here in Columbus this season.
No doubt. I mean, and the beauty of Ohio State and some of the elite programs around this sport when it comes to recruiting is you have a lot of high-end talent in all these individual rooms, and that can really show itself on the field throughout a season as far as depth goes. And you look at last year, and Arvell's kind of that third linebacker, right? You get him out there, play 200, 300 snaps in a season the way that he did a year ago. That's only going to help him this year, right, is to get out there. And, yeah, it's always cool to see guys go out and get those mental reps, but it's more about going out and doing it. And Arvell had a decent feel of what it's like to play consistently last year, and those snaps are going to go through the roof. You heard James alluding to some of the versatility that he has within his game, so I can't wait to see what Patricia and James cook up over there as far as maybe moving him around in certain spots. Who knows? But, yeah, between Arvell and you look at what Sonny's going to bring to the table, and there's some buzz coming out of the building already about Peyton Pierce. It seems like they got some confidence that linebacker room is going to be ready to cook come week 1.
We'll talk to Dave Biddle about it at 1:30. We'll get some of those guys in that depth chart besides the 2 guys we mentioned. And it was very much like the coaching that we did with Laurinaitis when he was here on the show before us. And he'd cross over, and I'd say, well, what kind of comment was that? And he goes, at AR, I don't know. I didn't watch the game. And I'd be like, yeah, I mean, and then I get that, and it would be perfect.
He was a deep thinker, man.
He was.
He really was. Yeah. Shout out to Threes.
All right. We come back in 2 minutes with our friend Brenden Deeg. He's the news editor at The Score. Eagles repeat. How confident is he? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, back at it. Draft is coming very quickly. A lot of teams, a lot of shuffling, listen, there aren't that many chairs left. The music is about to stop for some teams and some quarterbacks, and we will get a little inside slant from our friend, Brenden Deeg. He is the NFL news editor at The Score. Good to have you, my friend.
Guys, how we doing?
We're doing outstanding. We have been debating the Cleveland situation here for a little bit of time. Let me ask you this, because you're not here and you're not in Ohio, and I don't know if any of this reverberated at all outside of Ohio. It doesn't seem like it. There was a story the other day here that the Browns were actively trying to negotiate to trade for Dak Prescott. A, did you hear that story? And B, what did you think of it?
I saw it. I did.
All right.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it on the news desk. It got shut down by a lot of other NFL reporters. I think Jane Slater of NFL Network was on it pretty quickly to kind of shut that down. To me, it doesn't really make sense, right? Like, they already have a ton of cap into Deshaun Watson. Dak Prescott's contract is also really not tradable until after this season. So it would be tough to kind of have both those contracts on the books. Dak Prescott is the highest paid player in football right now. So to have kind of both of them on the salary books wouldn't make much sense. So we didn't think anything of it much at The Score here. It got shut down by some pretty prominent reporters kind of right away.
Let's stay in Dallas and just get your overall feel on where that team is going into 2025. New head coach, kind of back-to-back off seasons here where they don't make a ton of noise in the offseason. Not that that always equates to wins, but when you look at this Dallas Cowboys roster and the NFC, like, where are they stacking up for you right now?
Well, I think that the key thing is they just have to stay healthy on offense. So you're going to have Dak Prescott fully healthy. He's coming off a hamstring injury, and CeeDee Lamb. Both those guys have to play 17 games. And if that doesn't happen, it's going to be tough for them to kind of compete for the NFC East. So they haven't done much in free agency. Like Dante Fowler Jr. was kind of their big acquisition. They have a gaping hole right now at guard. They really need to fill that spot. This is a team that I would look at. Maybe Kevin Zeitler, I believe, still out there. There's some free agent guards that they could try to go attack. Or not Kevin Zeitler, sorry, but I think he did get signed. But there's some other guards out there that they could go after and get signed. They're probably going to look one in the draft. I really, if you're a Cowboys fan, you're really hoping that Jerry Jones kind of does something big over these next couple months here to try to boost the offense. I think as long as you have Micah Parsons on defense, they have some playmakers there that they can work with. I know they did lose to Marcus Lawrence and whatnot, but they really need to have kind of a top 7 to 10 offense for them to compete, and it starts with staying healthy at quarterback and wide receiver, and hopefully add an offensive guard and maybe another playmaker on offense throughout the draft process or by trade.
Let's say Aaron Rodgers does sign a dotted line in Pittsburgh. How much of a needle mover would that be for you as far as the outlook of what the Steelers could be in 2025?
First off, it would be entertaining. I know the Vikings one does have some kind of juice with following like the Brett Favre career arc and whatnot, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. I think having Aaron Rodgers lead an offense with George Pickens and DK Metcalf, with Arthur Smith, like just the I would love to be a fly on the wall in some Aaron Rodgers, Arthur Smith offensive meeting rooms. Those two guys don't seem like they would get along very well. But I think it can work. I'm of the belief that Aaron Rodgers has at least one good year left in him. I thought he showed some flashes towards the end of that Jets kind of reign at the end of last year. If you get him a good offensive line, you get him weapons, I think he can have one more solid season. And that Jets defense just completely fell apart down the stretch last season. They went from one of the better defenses in the NFL in 2023 to one of the worst in 2024. We saw the Woody Johnson mess. Like, it was just a dumpster fire. It was just everything that could have went wrong. So I really hope he does. I think it would be good for the league. I think it would be good for news. And my job, I think it would be good for entertainment. And I think they can make it work. I think it ultimately does happen, and he's either going to retire or go there. I'm leaning that he probably does sign in Pittsburgh, and I think they can compete for NFC North. I do think that there's enough there as long as the defense stays healthy, as long as the defense can kind of be a top 10 to 12 unit. I really do think that that Aaron Rodgers going there would provide juice to Steelers and compete for an NFC North crown.
Talking to our friend Brenden Deeg about the NFL, and I'll take you to Cincinnati, and this is how I'll put it, because they're very dangerous, obviously, with Joe Burrow and obviously bringing back T and Jamar. They're going to be very dangerous. If you go in, Brenden, you look at the top 10 NFL teams with the worst points, I guess, let me put it this way. The top 10 best scoring teams in the NFL last season: Detroit, Buffalo, Baltimore, Tampa, Washington, Philly, Packers, Vikes, Bronx, Chargers. I can go down the list. All those teams were playoff teams. There's one team in there that averaged 28 a game that didn't make the playoffs, and that was the Bengals. So where are you on what they're doing with their team and whether they're still going to be a Super Bowl contender with that defense?
Yeah, if you actually kind of dig deeper here, so they're actually the first offensive team to finish in the top 6 in offensive in EPA per play over the last 3 years that didn't make the playoffs. So this is kind of a very outlier season with how good their offense was last year, and not getting in the playoffs. They ultimately came up short. It was kind of too little, too late down the stretch when they went on that run. I think it was the right move. I know a lot of people were saying, "Oh, they shouldn't have paid T. Higgins. They should have tried to move off of him." Like, well, then what? What then? So you get a second round pick, maybe an end of the first round pick, and you're hoping to draft a guy like T. Higgins. Like, I'm always of the belief when you have good young talent in the building, you have to pay these guys. Now, the problem with what the Bengals did is they just didn't pay them fast enough. They waited too long. The market for wide receivers went up. If they did this last year, they would have saved a ton of money where they could have used that allocate those resources to the defense. And kind of add up there. And I really, if you're a Bengals fan, you're kind of praying that they retain Trey Hendrickson, led the league in sacks last year. He's one of the best defensive players in football. And right now he's in a contract dispute. No one knows really what's going on there. There hasn't been a ton of reporting as of late. They're saying they're trying to negotiate a contract with him. He requested a trade out of there. It's kind of a mess, and they're going to be relying on some draft picks to kind of hit and start right away, and rookies to kind of play day one. And what the biggest issue is too with the team is the defensive draft picks that they've taken in the last 2 to 3 years haven't worked out. Like guys like Dax Hill, Miles Murphy had a rough last year. Like Davis Gaither was like their best draft pick that they had on defense, and he just walked out the door. So they just kind of failed their draft picks on the defensive side of the ball that kind of led up to this. And now that they paid those guys, they kind of need to restock and continue throwing darts at the dartboard in the draft to kind of fill up the defense. But just like how they're building the team, I think it was the right move to re-sign these guys. I just think they just did it too late.
Let's do a vibe check on the San Francisco 49ers. Debo, he's gone now. He's in Washington with Jane Daniels and that crew. But looking at the Niners, they're all season so far. Do you still view them as a contender, or do you think they've taken too many steps back?
I think the 49ers are kind of a prime potential bounce back candidate. I don't think Deebo Samuel, losing him was a huge loss. I do think they can kind of recreate him in the aggregate. A little Moneyball reference there to kind of fill in his production. He had a down year last year, but this is a team that still finished top 12 in offensive EPA per play, top 12 in offensive success rate. They didn't have Christian McCaffrey healthy for the majority of the year. He's supposed to be back healthy coming in. They still have Nick Bosa. They still have Kyle Shanahan. And in an NFC that's really not that good, like compared to the AFC, I do think this is a team that can bounce back. They led the league in adjusted games lost last year, so they were the most injured team in the NFL and had the most games lost by kind of star players due to injury. So that stuff kind of can go up and down year to year. Now, I'm not saying that's not going to happen again next year. I feel like the way the 49ers play, with the way they're going to get their players out in space and whatnot, it can cause more injuries to players and whatnot. But I do think that I'm not out on this team at all. I don't think they've kind of gone down too far. This was kind of expected for this team to lose guys like Dre Greenlaw. Deebo Samuel was most likely not coming back, no matter what happened no matter what happened last year. So I'm actually kind of eyeing them as a potential bounce back candidate and a team that can definitely make the playoffs next year.
The Eagles repeat. Should they be the favorites?
They should be the favorites. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that they're going to repeat. There's still a ton of time left before August. But, yeah, I think they're the best team in football. The guys that they lost, Milt Williams, Josh Sweat, these guys, they have guys that are ready to replace them. Maura Ojima, who was a 7th-round draft pick in 2023, is going to fill in for Milt Williams. He was awesome last year, and he's ready to fill in that role. Nolan Smith played really well, and Jalen Hunt, we saw what he could do in the Super Bowl. I was really high on him coming out of the draft. He's kind of just popped out of nowhere and down the stretch, and I thought he was going to be more of a project player. But the guys that they lost, they have young guys ready to step in. And as long as that offensive line, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts, are still there with Vic Fangio calling the shots on defense, they absolutely should be the favorites. But again, still a lot of time. Harry Roseman likes to kind of wait right up until week one to kind of fix his roster or make moves. So there could be more coming in and out with that team. But if you're a betting man and you were to make a Super Bowl prediction right now, yeah, I think the Philadelphia Eagles should be.
I hear you, my man. Brenden Deeg with us, NFL news editor at The Score. Thanks, my man. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks. Brenden was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
Real quick, AR. Vegas agrees with Brenden Deeg over at Bet365 plus 650. They're the leader on the board, followed by Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City at plus 700.
I'm glad you asked about the Niners. I think they're the trickiest team to predict. I like them. I think he just said he likes them. I think they're coached well. I think we'll see what happens with the Purdy deal.
Mm-hmm.
What does Vegas think of them?
Plus 1,600. So you got Eagles, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs. So tied for second are the Ravens, Bills, and the Chiefs. And then after Kansas City, AR, you get to Detroit at plus 850, and then you get to the Niners at 16-1.
So they believe in the Niners right now more than the Commanders.
As the third best team in the NFC, Commanders
into it.
Right behind the Niners at 18-1. Then the Commanders are tied with the Cincinnati Bengals at 18-1.
We will come back with overs and unders into the weekend. Play along. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring champions of faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring champions of faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Raising Cane's is celebrating our golden birthday year. Join the party with Golden Chicken Fingers and a limited edition Golden Blush Puppy that benefits local pet organizations. Get yours while supplies last. See RaisingCanes.com for details. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Common Man here. I take my job as endorser for Germain Lexus very seriously. I want to make sure that every Lexus on the lot meets my expectations. That's why I personally sit in each one. I massage the leather. Sometimes I take a nap in the back seat. If that's not a selling point, I don't know what is. Deal time. Lease the 2025 ES350 for as low as $409 per month, or get 3.49% financing up to 60 months on their most popular new Lexus models. 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, GermainLexus.com.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts. Rub it together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Morning Juice.
There are guys who can be leaders, and maybe they just haven't had the opportunity to play because of injury or where they're at on the depth chart. They've got some really talented players above them.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LEARN for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LEARN for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LEARN.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems in Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice presents Overs and Unders.
All right, CB. How did we do?
All right, it was not a great week. Both of you went 5-1.
Wait a minute, it was not a great week.
Not a great week for me.
Oh, okay.
AR, you missed on the Duke under on their points in the first game against Mount St. Mary's.
They got in the 90s.
Scored in the 90s,
Yeah.
and Ice missed the Jackets and Penguins score. That went way over the 5.5.
Yeah, they cooked. Well, how many?
That
did
was
they score
my.
in that
It was a
one?
9-goal game.
That was my quickest convicted answer in a long time.
Yeah, you were all over that. CB, how many goals did the Jackets score again in that game? Remind me.
It was 10.
No.
The Jackets.
I thought it was 9 goals in that game, maybe 10. I think it was like a 6-3
Wasn't it
game.
7-3?
Seven? No, it was 7-3.
Yeah. We're on one. Need that tonight, baby. Come on.
Well, any other direction, but yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's start off with the first one. It's Kentucky and Tennessee. It's the third game of this matchup.
7-3 against the Islanders, 6-3 against the Pens. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Kentucky, Tennessee, third match of the season. The over-under for total points scored in this game is sitting at 144.5.
I'm going to go over on this one, Maddie. UK can score. Tennessee can score enough. If they hit their averages, we're getting way over. I know it's the tournament. Might be a little dicey, but I'm going to take the over.
I got mad respect for Tennessee's defense and how legit they've been, especially, I know, look at the SEC. They've been putting it on people. This is the third time these two teams have played. Tennessee's defense, number 1 in the conference in points allowed, 4th in the conference as well in blocks. I'm going under. So give me the under for this one, CB.
All right, next up, we'll do Houston's team total against Purdue at 69.5.
I'm going to go over, but I think this is going to be close. Throughout the season in the Big Ten, Purdue gave up 70 a night. Purdue playing this game right in their backyard, which will absolutely help them out. Look, they've hit the over in this game twice so far in the tourney, that being Houston. Cryer, their best scorers, coming off a 30-piece, shot 6 of 11 from the field. So I'm going to go over. I think the Cougs can get over this number, but I don't think they're going to blow it out of the water.
Some Purdue's look good defensively, but you have to put the disclaimer on it. It's been High Point and McNeese. You can hold those teams in the low 60s. And I know Houston's known for being a defensive team, but I'm going to take the over with you. I think the Cougs can get to 70.
Not only was it McNeese, it was Amir Khan and McNeese.
Yeah, they shut him down.
Hey, he got
took his boom box and hit him right over the head with it.
He got those NIL bags, though. Good for him.
All right, we will do the high seed winners over under again. So there's 4 games today. On Friday, over under 1.5 higher seeds pull off the upset.
So the 6 seed Ole Miss Rebels are taking on the 2 seeds Michigan State Spartans. 3 seed Kentucky takes on Tennessee, and as they are a 2 seed. Auburn's the 1 seed taking on Michigan as a 5, and then Purdue is the 4 seed taking on Houston. I will take the under on this. In my Ron Burgundy voice. Not a lot of confidence in this, but I'm going to go under, AR.
Yeah, I'm going to go under with you. If this tournament trends the way it's been trending, although we're now getting the heavyweight matchups, so they're not as slanted, but I could easily see one upset, and I don't even think Kentucky beating Tennessee would be a massive upset. But if you're giving me one and I can still win the under, I'll take it. I see Auburn winning. I see Houston winning. And then the tricky one might be Ole Miss and Sparty. But I'm going to take the under with you. I'll ride the faves.
All right, Dylan Cease is on the mound for the Padres against the Braves today. His over-under for strikeouts is 5.5.
I'll take the over on that. I think he's
nice.
He's nice. Braves, pretty high whiff rate, so I'm going to go over.
King got him for 3 Ks yesterday in the debut.
Not as much.
No Ronald Acuna yet for Atlanta, but that lineup is still legit. They got dudes up and down that lineup. This is tough. I'm gonna go with the under on this. CB, yeah, give me the under.
All right, as we mentioned, Jackets and Canucks tonight. The over-under is 6.5 total goals.
I'm stealing a page from my man AR. I ain't thinking about it. I'm going over.
All right, I'm going to go under.
Oh, my God.
I just might be a little tighter. Elvis is back in.
A little rusty, too many days off?
No. I don't know. Vancouver has scored lately. I think they've gotten to 4 and 5, but one was in a shootout. Just going to take the under on 6.5.
Switching sides. Let's see how it works out. The final one is the high temperature for the weekend. Very warm, steamy, but rainy in the forecast. We'll do 75.5.
75.5.
Not ready for that yet. Let's go under. We touching almost 80 this weekend?
We just need to get to 76.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's.
I think we got the one day to do it, Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going under.
CB's windsock, how that's hanging, we don't know. I will go over.
Okay.
Let's have fun. Switch it up a little bit. High humidity. That's how I have fun.
I got to get some new shorts. I got to get those, those short thigh-high shorts that CB rocks, Got to get some of those.
I like to go more with
bag.
With the ports. The pants, almost as long as pants, but, over the knee. All right, we'll come back. Top of the hour, we'll get into a SportsCenter update here. And a certain quarterback was photographed in the land. Who is he, and what was he doing there? Details next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
They say great customer service is a thing of the past, but not at Newman Roofing. Quality products, expert installers, and a team you can trust is the core foundation at Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF today to have your roofing, siding, or gutters replaced this spring, or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain.
Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Montana, Bettis, Horning, and Brown, some of the greatest of all time, kicked off their careers in South Bend. You can celebrate Notre Dame football's impact on the professional game by visiting the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton to experience Gold Helmet to Gold Jacket March 14th through April 27th. And register to win our grand prize at 971thefan.com/Gold Jacket. One winner will receive 2 tickets to the Hall of Fame game, enshrinement ceremony, and the Hall of Fame Museum. That's 971thefan.com/Gold Jacket.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Anthony Rothman here for Tel-Ohio. Tel-Ohio Credit Union has been financing dreams and fueling the local economy for 90 years. And as the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions, learn why more than 3,000 business owners trust Tel-Ohio. Visit telohio.org/business.
The best matchup is you in a new Kia from Coughlin Kia. Get into a new Kia now with $0 down. Get 0% financing on select new Kias and make 0 payments for 3 months on any new Kia in stock. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
0% for 72 equals $1,389 per 1,000 financed on Nero EV, EV6, and EV9 with approved credit through Kia Motor Finance. 90 days deferred payments until June 2025. Qualified manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. No security deposit. Residency restrictions may apply. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/25.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. Ohio State guard Michi Johnson has entered the transfer portal. Michi only played 10 games for the Buckeyes this past season. He will be in his 6th and final year of college basketball next season. The Blue Jackets return to the ice for the first time in a little bit. The Vancouver Canucks will be in town tonight. That game can be heard right here on The Fan. Puck drop at 7. Coverage begins at 6:30. This is a big one as both teams are just barely outside of their playoff pictures in their respective conferences. And we had some very dramatic opening day baseball yesterday. The Reds entered the 9th inning with a 3-2 lead, but they could not shut the door. Giants win that one 6-4. The Guardians also blew a 9th inning lead yesterday. You don't expect to see many blown saves from Emmanuel Clase, but the team was able to recover with a 3-run 10th. Guardians won 7-4, both teams off today. This update is brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with the Visa Platinum Credit Card. Apply online at bmifcu.org/Visa.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice, the #1 rated midday show in Columbus.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, pressure cooker this hour. We'll get into some Buckeye football spring talk with Dave Biddle at 1:30. And then we'll try to call BS on this story. All right, so there was a picture that was floating around Twitter last night. And
Twitter.
And so Kirk Cousins, or as I like to call him, Cousin Kirk, was spotted at a Northeast Ohio Chipotle yesterday afternoon.
Here we go, CB.
You like that? You like that?
Get that vinaigrette, Kirk. You got to get that vinaigrette on the side, AR. It's the good stuff. You pour that on there.
I got the honey chicken the other day.
What's your vibe check on that?
A little too much of a kick. I was expecting a little more sweet than kicky.
A little too spicy? Okay.
Yeah.
My boy Justin works at Chipotle. Shout out to Jay Young, my boy.
Oh, Maddie knows where to go. Get that little extra scoop.
Yeah, I always get a little inside scoop on what's coming.
Oh, I thought maybe an outside scoop on when you get there.
No. I did see a video, and I don't know if this is about to happen, but a video, I think about a week ago, where they were weighing like your chicken and steak, and we don't need that. We don't need that. Yeah. Just give me my double chicken. Don't even measure.
And for you, it sounds like maybe whatever you want.
Oh, by the way, real quick, Tanner Bybee came out and said that it was not this restaurant that got him sick. He didn't even have a chance to eat it yet.
You know what? Then I'm kind of proud of myself yesterday. Sorry, I'll do it for myself.
Play the clip for yourself.
Which clip?
Very proud of you.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, play it for yourself.
May I just say it? Very proud of you. Very nice. I would say this. Yesterday we got off the air. Full curtain up. We walked back to our cubicles. And I looked at you guys and I said, you know what? I'm kind of happy I didn't mention the restaurant. I don't think that'd be fair to them. I didn't know it was that. Everyone was telling me that all he does is eat the Chipotle before the games, the night before and all that. They said it had to be that. They gave him the food poison. I'm like, you know what? That's not fair. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to speculate. And you know what? By golly, I didn't do it.
Listen, go ahead and pat yourself on the back, big dog. Hey, man, at it.
Well, I may be doing it for that or the extra scoop that maybe I can get now the next time I go.
Listen, I'll talk to my boy Justin. You know he's a big-time Vikings fan just like you. Maybe he
should be taking
maybe
care
he's got something.
That's right. When I walk in, that's what I want to hear.
Listen, I put the blame on Kansas City Barbecue. Some restaurant in Kansas City that he had yesterday did not get him right. But look, the guards tried to let that game get away. CB, real quick, Clase going back to the playoffs, and then yesterday it's kind of like, like he's still, I think, going to be really good, but the last few outings that we've seen from him have been dicey.
Yeah, it doesn't look good because of how the postseason went, but I will say Kansas City did really well with what was offered to them. I don't think he was tossing meatballs by any chance, but Pasquantina had a great hit.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, I think I just got to give credit to the Royals.
And credit to you, yesterday, real quick, before we get back to the Browns. You said, listen, don't forget about Kyle Manzardo. He's a guy that's got to step up, too. And CB was on it because Manzardo was on one yesterday.
As long as we're all proud of each other, it's the way we're going to do it here. We're good enough, we're smart enough, and doggone it, people like us. All right. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Now that he ate at Chipotle in Northeast Ohio.
You see his
and
tweet?
City Barbecue.
And City Barbecue.
So he's eating good in the neighborhood. Did you see his tweet about Chipotle, AR?
After this? It was just with the staff. It wasn't like, it was a staff picture, right?
Yeah, he was with some employees of that Chipotle, but I guess he commented on this tweet or somewhere around, the social media realm and said, salad with double chicken never fails me. That's his
So he doesn't get rice.
No.
He's like you. He's got the Give me the Matty, I think is what he said.
Yeah, I do like their salad. I'll do I'll do steak and chicken. Throw some fajitas on that thing, maybe some corn. Then I'm good to go. Some of that tomato sauce on there, too. Let's get it.
Here's the problem with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And it's not the Achilles. It's that he's still an employee of the Atlanta Falcons.
Some dirty birds.
He's not released. Please release me. He's the highest paid backup in NFL history.
It's good living.
Now, I don't know. Maybe Penix doesn't look good this fall. Maybe Kirk steals the job back. I don't know. But it's weird that because if the Falcons, there's no news about them giving Cousins a chance to go seek a trade or go to Cleveland and, by the way, stop at Chipotle and just maybe go there to see a friend. I mean, that's the question here.
You know who he was seeing.
This is not NFL related?
They ain't fooling me. Kirk and Kevin Stefanski, my gut is telling me they linked up. Somebody from the Browns organization and Kirk Cousins linked up yesterday.
Tell us where you're going to eat.
That's my guess.
We'll show up.
Could be completely wrong. Maybe it was just happenstance that he just said, you know what? I want to go to Cleveland for a day.
So you're saying it's a little too coincidental that he needs a starting job and they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
And you just happen to be there.
Yeah.
Hanging out, visiting a friend.
I'm also a guy, too, that I think everybody should be able to tamper away. Tamper all you want. People are doing it anyway. Just throw it out there in the public. You ain't got to hide it.
Matty, tampering. You know you do it. Everybody does it. I just did it. I'm ready to do it again.
That's the world I would like to live in. Maybe he did have a legitimate reason outside of, the Brown stuff for being in Cleveland. I don't know. It's just way too timely.
It's the Stefanski connection.
100%.
That's what gets to me. It's that offense. Their time together with the Vikes would make a lot of sense for the Browns, especially if, and this is the big if, they view this quarterback draft the same way a lot of analysts do, that it's a reach. That, yes, if you're desperate, they're there, and it's not saying you can't win with them, to a certain level. But no one is saying that there's
the guy there. Prospect. Yeah. There's no doubt. Here's what I think happened in my mind. Here's how I think this played out. Kirk, wherever he's at, maybe he was in Atlanta, maybe he was in a mansion somewhere else. I'm sure he's got a great house. Maybe Minnesota. Who knows? He flew into Cleveland. He hit up Kev and said, Kev.
You didn't go there for the double chicken salad?
He did not go there for the Here's what he said. He said, Kev, I just touched down. I got to get something to eat before we link up. He said, I'm going to Chipotle. You need anything? Kev said, I'm not a big fan of Chipotle, but I do like City Barbecue. And Kirk said, all right, I'll stop there, too, before I come to the house. In my mind, that's how this played out.
Well,
give me some of those burn ends.
Yeah, well, if the Browns media would have taken a page out of my book back in the day, you would have gotten to an unmarked vehicle, and you would have followed him. You would have tracked him to Barry's home, and then you would have had something.
They have to, at some point in time, if this is the guy they really want, they have to give up some draft capital. I don't know what that looks like. Is it 33 and, there's 67, just one of those? Who knows? But you brought up where Atlanta is right now. He's still a part of their team, and I think it's a smart move by Atlanta to do so for now to get something in return for Kirk Cousins, who I think has some value depending on whatever team that you're talking about. The chemistry that's there with Stefanski and Kirk Cousins is absolutely real. And when you look at some of the options out there, doesn't seem to be any real connection or vibe between Aaron Rodgers and Cleveland. So once you get past that wave, now that Russell Wilson is off the board along with Jameis, you're looking at the likes of Carson Wentz, Drew Lock, Trey Lance, Teddy Bridgewater, and a familiar face in Joe Flacco.
Dak.
Well, maybe Dak. Who knows?
No,
but those are your guys.
Yeah. What we're trying to identify here, is what is making Myles Garrett smile so much besides the money.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer to that may be nothing in particular, because he has so much money that why wouldn't you be ear to ear? You're going to need plastic surgery to remove your smile.
Yeah.
He's going to be singing zippity doo dah out of his you-know-what.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to have so much fun with this money.
Yeah, that's real. He's like Bill Burr, like laying on the money and Breaking Bad in a garage somewhere. Like, that's what Myles Garrett is cooking up.
Who was the big fella?
I don't remember his name, the character.
Yeah, I like that. I like him in that.
Show is just so good. Ending a little, ending's got a little bit of that.
I thought the ending
You thought they brought it home?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was intense. It was probably the right ending. It was the right ending for one guy, and it was the right ending for the other.
Not much to complain about. It really, from start to finish.
The right people, here's how I judge a good ending.
Yeah.
The right people got it.
Got popped.
Got what they deserved. That's what I like about a good ending.
They got clipped, as they say, in the wire. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you can't really complain too much if they make this move to bring in Kirk Cousins.
They've got enough cap room to do it, I believe. So,
well, they have that too, but they also last year had one of the worst outputs as far as quarterback play goes and offense as a whole. I mean, the Browns' offense ranked last in the league in points per game. Their quarterback room accounted for the most interceptions in the league in 23. I don't think that's what you would get from Kirk Cousins.
You mentioned obviously the Russell Wilson thing. That when that ship sailed, I was like,
Mr. Unlimited.
That was the one that I thought, if you're looking for a veteran bridge who's maybe a little cheaper, what did he get paid again?
I want to say 2 for 10 or 1 for 10 that can get up to 20. Don't hold me to the years.
Yeah, no, I think you got it.
Okay.
I also think that's a lot cheaper than Kirk. So, or not a lot, but what's Kirk?
The Falcons will be on the hook for a lot of that, I believe. So I don't know what that would look like on the Browns side of things. I would be very, very curious to know what those numbers
look like. In the 20s, maybe?
I think you sign up for that.
Yeah, the Achilles, that's still something you're holding your breath on every time the guy takes a snap. But he's a good veteran bridge. He'd be with the coach he knows. It would make a lot of sense for them. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, they could still draft a quarterback. But the problem is they're still in the competition business. They want to have more than 3 wins this year, or maybe they shouldn't want to have it. I don't know.
Maybe they don't. Right. I don't know.
If they don't trade for Kirk and they draft a rookie quarterback, are they handing this team to Kenny Pickett? That
doesn't sound fun.
Right. So I feel like they have to get a veteran. Like you said, the music's about to stop. There's no more chairs. This seems like the last big move that could be made.
No doubt.
Outside of the Dak Rumorville.
Which seems like a pipe dream at this point. And so if you're Kevin Stefanski, I think you look around right now at the game of musical chairs that's being played at the quarterback position, and this guy has to be very high up on your list.
Here's what you also
has to be.
Yeah, you could also do this. If you didn't like the quarterbacks, well, it'd be hard to pass up Cam Ward if the Titans went crazy and took Abdul Carter at number 1. So that probably throws a wrench into it. And Kirk, as we've talked to Adam Schefter about, he's not going to he's not buying into the same situation. He's not going to sign up and he's not going to want to go to Cleveland before the draft.
Correct.
And then have them draft Cam Ward or Shedeur and then go, okay, I'm back.
Same movie
I'm going to hold down the spot until you think the rookie needs to play.
I think so. I'm with you, AR.
Yeah.
That's the smart move for Kirk Cousins is to wait until Raj is done calling all those picks in the first round or maybe even second round, depending on what the Browns want to do. And then,
but don't they have to know, Matty? Don't the Browns have to know they can get Kirk if they're going to pass on a quarterback?
Yes, they would have to.
Yeah.
They absolutely would have to there. And so, yeah, I mean, this is the fun part of the offseason when the team's picking this high and they have a couple different lanes to go down. But it does make it a little odd now because he's under contract for another team right now. And so Andrew Berry weighing the draft capital that they would have to give up versus what they could get in the draft are the tough decisions the GM has to make. But I just happen to believe even if you do bring in Kirk Cousins in the offensive weaponry that they have right now is not going to make Kirk Cousins look very good. And so if you trade for that guy, you got to get some other talent around him because whether it's the running back room, the wide receiver room, they got work to do. It's not very sexy at the moment.
And you just have to keep reminding yourself that he's not the future. You may be competitive. You might go back to be an above 500 team with him. But what are you really and for how many years? So it's really kind of a good Band-Aid. And that's why they could maybe even trade down or trade back in and get a quarterback later and try to keep compiling. But then we know the front office isn't into a rebuild, so they're in trouble. And the whole thing that started to lit the fuse was Deshaun Watson. We come back. Who goes in the pressure cooker? Find out next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
At Bob's Discount Furniture, you get the lowest prices every day. Like our modular Bob, which configures to fit your family at just $250 each section. Sleep well on our game-changing mattresses like my highly rated Prize and news-making Treasure, and quality meets value with our Ellington dining set. Only $12.99 every day. No phony sales ever. When you get everyday low prices on the furniture of your dreams, there's only one thing to say.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's
Discount Furniture.
March is on at Lindsay Honda. Shoot your shot
and save.
It's madness. You get to choose your finance rate on over 600 new Lindsay Hondas. 0%, 1.9, 2.9, and up to a full 60 months long. And no trade-in required. This deal works with zero down. March is on at Lindsay Honda. Save with rates as low as 0% at lindsayhonda.com.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. See lindsayhonda.com for details.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, did you know that March has a lot of college basketball?
Why, yes, I did, Common Man. And the best place to watch all the action and play the action is at Hollywood Casino. You can reserve your table now at HollywoodColumbus.com.
Not only that, every Saturday in March is UFC Fight Night. They're showing every fight on the big screen. Watching at home is boring. Don't be boring.
All the action happens at ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off of closing costs. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.50%, APR 6.56% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-THIRD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get 5 bags of red, black, or brown mulch for just $10.95 now through April 5th. Save $50 on home delivery too. Visit OhioMulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
Spring forward, Columbus, with the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling Services. We're here to thaw you out with this limited time offer. Get up to $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer is too good to pass up. The Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling now together to serve you better with $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer won't last. Call us today, 614-232-2222. That's 614-232-2222.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens at your latest forecast. We're looking at temperatures that will make the mid-70s this afternoon after scattered light rain and thunderstorms come to an end. We'll even see some sunshine to wrap up the afternoon. Temperature tonight down to 60, partly cloudy. Saturday, 75 and dry during the day. Rain returns Saturday night into early Sunday. Strong to severe storms will come Sunday night into early Monday, so stay weather aware. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Under Pressure.
You know, a lot of these coaches will go to pro days of guys that they think they got a shot at, depending on where they're picking. Like, just got a tweet, our boy Brenden, like, Stefanski was an Oxford miss. at a restaurant there when Cousins was in Cleveland. All right. I think they know each other pretty well, and they both have cell phones, so I'm sure they could be in contact.
Maybe he met with Jimmy and Dave in Cleveland. Who knows?
Maybe Kirk really did go to Cleveland to get a Chipotle. Just better there.
The best Chipotle in the land.
What do you got for the pressure cooker, my man?
I had my list all set coming into the show today, and then I received some shocking news out of the NBA. Because I don't know what the heck is happening down in Memphis, but the Memphis Grizzlies fired their head coach and Taylor Jenkins right when we started the show. And I don't know what's going on. They're right there in that 4 or 5 seed right now. If the playoffs started today, they would play the Lakers. This isn't a lack of production from his team type of thing. I mean, the dude went 250 and 214 as the Grizzlies coach, the most coaching wins in franchise history. Ja Morant's missed the last 6 games, so your star player hasn't been available, and you fire your coach with 9 games to go?
9 games.
The playoffs are right around the corner. You're doing your thing. Ja's missed a lot of games this year in the last 6, as I just mentioned. So something weird is going on in Memphis. So I'm putting pressure on the front office and now the players to pick up these pieces and put it back together, because this is going to shake the room down there. Maybe they knew this was coming behind the scenes. Who knows? But just something doesn't smell right about this, because it can't be basketball related, AR. So I think this front office has some explaining to do to their fan base as to why you would get rid of this guy so close to the postseason when he's been winning at a high clip. I don't get it. Crazy stuff happening in Memphis Grizzlies front office. You're on the pressure list.
We saw the ghost of Elvis, and we made a move. I'm going to put the pressure on Purdue. I don't know what in the world are they going to do against Houston. Houston, they're tough to guard. They're tough to score against. They're a bad matchup for the Boilermakers. Couple of athletic bigs versus Trey Kaufman-Renn inside. We've seen him swarm the perimeter. Braden Smith's going to be uncomfortable. There's pressure on him. This Houston Cougar team, as good as they are, have kind of been under the radar in the bracket. 26 of the past 27 they've won. They're on the nation's longest win streak at 15. By the way, 3 of their 4 losses the entire season came in overtime. Like, this is a team. They're the best three-point shooting team. Well, and I saw Bama last night, too. But they shoot 40% as a team from deep.
That'll work.
So it's going to take this monumental effort from Purdue. I'll just give you the numbers to back it up. Houston's scoring defense, first nationally. 355 teams, first. Field goal percentage defensively, 5th. Scoring margin, 4th. They're as elite as they come. I like the fact that the Boilers come from the Big Ten. That means they played a pretty aggressive non-conference. You start to take a look at it. They did play Bama and Auburn and A&M and Ole Miss and Marquette. Like, they've played some teams, played tournament teams. So I agree with you. You said they're going to need that Indy crowd to be backing them. It should be massive. But I'm going to put Purdue on the pressure list, even though they're not the favorite. I just feel from a game standpoint, it doesn't feel like a great matchup. Even as an IU guy, I would actually like to see it. So I'm going to root for the Big Ten here, but I'm putting them on the pressure list. It's the last game, 10:09, I think, tonight. So or whenever they're going to tip that off.
10:09 on TBS and True TV. Looks like TBS has Tennessee and Kentucky as well, which tips shortly after 7:30. Second candidate for me. Baseball season is underway. This team actually picked up a win yesterday in dramatic fashion. But this is big picture stuff for this squad. And it's the Philadelphia Phillies. And here's why. They've been knocking on the door for the last few seasons trying to win that World Series trophy. But the reason why I believe there's a lot of pressure on them is because of the age of a lot of their superstars on this team. Their ace, Zach Wheeler's 34. Stud catcher JT Realmuto's 34 as well. Bryce Harper is now 32. Trey Turner's 31. Former Red Nick Castellanos is 33. So you get where I'm going with this. This team has been legit. They have one of the best playoff atmospheres in the sport. They got sniped by the Diamondbacks a couple years when it really felt like they were on their way to a World Series. And things are just not easy on that side of Major League Baseball, that being the National League. Within their own division, it's the Mets and the Braves. And then you got this hovering juggernaut over everybody in the sport in the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Shohei hits another home run yesterday, which is, dude's just unreal. But when your roster is aging the way that the Phillies roster is aging, they got to cash in now, or it probably will be never, because this Dodgers franchise ain't going anywhere, and they'll throw money at any and everybody to have the best roster in the sport. So I'm looking at Bryce Harper and the gang, AR, and putting a lot of pressure on them, because you got dudes in their early to mid-30s, and there might be a shakeup coming if they don't win it all this year. Phillies are on the pressure list.
All right, I'm going to put the pressure on the entire field at the Houston Open, besides two guys. That's because if you want, you can have the field, and I'll take Scheffler and Rory right now.
That'll work.
I mean, this duo is eating up roughly a third of the win probability this week at the Houston Open. So it's kind of forcing you to decide between one of the two best players in the world or a handful of everybody else. Scottie Scheffler, number one player in the world. Rory, number two. And Rory's playing this week to kind of prepare for the Masters. And so they're the two favorites. Plus 350, plus 600. You know who the next favorite is? The third favorite?
Who you got?
It's Aaron Rai, but he's 25-1.
Okay.
That's how slanted this is. Now, Scheffler has not been the Scheffler of old. His worst finish of the season, though, is only tied for 25th at Phoenix, but he's been close. Rory coming off the Players' victory. So, but this is the first time in Rory's career, and this is what I've noticed about how he's playing going to the Masters, that he's got 2 wins before the Masters. So he's in early season good form. And I thought about this before I even saw the leaderboard, and guess who's leading? It is Scheffler.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's right up there. And then you've got Rory, who I think goes off later this afternoon. And that third favorite, Aaron Rai, who I mentioned, is already +1. So the pressure's on the field at the Houston Open. Everybody chasing Scotty.
Last candidate for me was once a man that dropped this quote: "If you look good, you feel good. If you play good, they pay good." Speaking of pay, that same man that cooked up that quote just got paid, and he is now on the pressure list, that being Deion Sanders, because this is coming down right now. Colorado has extended out Deion Sanders on a 5-year, $54 million contract, $10 million over the next 2 years, $11 million in 2027 and 2028. And if he makes it all the way to 2029, he will make $12 million. This type of bag puts you in the class of some of the elites around the sport and some of the most accomplished coaches in college football. So now we're going to see what Deion's really about. He put Colorado on the map. I completely understand why they would want to stay committed to him. But now with no Shedeur in the mix, no Travis Hunter in the mix, I can't wait to see what he cooks up. Can't wait to see what the recruiting looks like. But more importantly, where can he get them as far as wins and games that matter in the college football playoffs. So some breaking news on the fly right here. Deion Sanders, 5-year, $54 million contract out there in the mountains.
Wow.
Credit to Prime. But he's got to now show why they believe in him.
Well, what goes to my mind is, he's floated out there for the Cowboys job, and now suddenly he doubles his salary in Boulder. Like, it worked perfectly if this is what he wanted. The other part that I think about is that this whole concoction of Dak to Cleveland, and they can get number 2, and they can draft Shedeur, and here comes the dad to coach him.
It's cooked
That's
now.
Poof, up in smoke.
Yep.
All for the big extension.
Poof, David Copperfield.
5-year, $54 million.
Yeah. I mean, think about the guys that are making that money around the sport right now and what they've done.
We'll come back in 2 minutes with our friend Dave Biddle, and we'll talk about the X factors for Ohio State this year in football. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last 2, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
It's March, and you know what that means. Bracket season. You've crunched the numbers, picked your favorites, and maybe even taken a big gamble on that Cinderella team. But when it comes to your home, gambling is not an option. Spring storms are rolling in, bringing strong winds, heavy rain, and unpredictable weather. The question is your roof ready? At Newman Roofing, we don't leave anything up to chance. Whether you need a new roof, gutter replacement, or updated siding, our expert team is here to educate you, guide you, and give you the best options to fit your home's needs. No high-pressure sales, no surprises, just top-quality work from a team you can trust. That's why homeowners choose Newman Roofing, the #1 overall seed here in Columbus, because we deliver an unbeatable customer experience every single time. So, don't wait until the damage is done. Beat the storm before it ruins your big dance. Call 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com to schedule your spot this spring. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
The Bidsmaster, editor of Bucknuts 24/7 Sports, and he covers Ohio State, and he's the host of On the Money as well with our man Scotty Vegas. And he's with us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. He is Dave Biddle. My man, good to have you as always.
Anthony, very proud of you. You're a good friend of mine, and congratulations on buying a boat.
That's right. Of course. That's right. Because you know me and boats, man. That's who I am. I want to live my life on the water. Let me ask you this, and everything's relative. I get it. What's your most confident part of Ohio State football this year and your least confident, knowing that everything's relative?
Yeah, I mean, depth is my biggest concern because last year's team, obviously the starters were very good, as we're going to see, because at least 15 of them are going to get drafted. Depth is certainly a concern. You look at the defensive line this year, I like the starters, the projected starters with Caden Curry, Kenyatta Jackson, and then Caden McDonald and Edric Houston inside. But those guys were the top 4 backups last year, at least 4 of the top 5, because Hero Canoe transferred as well. So the depth is not going to be there, on the defensive line. I do like, this is shocking considering what happened last year. The thing I like the most is the depth on the offensive line. Whoever thought we'd be talking about that? I think they did a really good job. Anthony and Maddie in the portal getting both Onionwa and Daniels. And some of these young guys, are coming of age, like a guy like Ian Moore, who redshirted last year. He's in the plans right now. He's going to fight Daniels for that right tackle job. I think there's no doubt Onionwa was going to be the starting left tackle. But then what happened? Almost by accident, all these guys that weren't even going to play ended up being like starters or getting valuable playing time on the interior of the offensive line during the national championship run, like guys like Luke Montgomery, Carson Hinsman, Tegra Shabola, and Austin Saravel were already playing a lot, but all 4 of those guys played a ton. And it sounds like they're going to rotate those guards again. So I like the depth on the offensive line, which is like the last thing in the world I ever thought I'd be saying.
Bids, I want to go back to defense and specifically that linebacker room. We were reacting to some sound from James earlier, and I heard a clip this morning to where he really likes what he's seen from Peyton Pierce and what he thinks he can be. Sonny, Arvell, those guys are going to get a bunch of reps this year. But just talk about Peyton Pierce, what you've heard about him so far, what you've seen from him maybe over at some practice times, and what you think he's going to bring to the table this year.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk with James Laurinaitis yesterday. I asked him, about Peyton Pierce. He just lit up. He said something. If you're a linebacker and James Laurinaitis says the following about you, you have a chance of being special. He goes, "Oh, I love Peyton. He's an absolute natural. He's an absolute natural middle linebacker." He went into all this stuff, just gushing about Peyton Pierce, and that's their number 3 linebacker this year. Because as you mentioned, Maddie, it's going to be obviously Sonny Styles as a leader of that room. I think he'll take over that Blocko from Cody Simon, and then I think Arvell Reese is a beast on the rise. And then that number 3 linebacker, there's no doubt, is going to be Peyton Pierce. And yeah, Little Animal loves them. So that says a lot. When James Laurinaitis says, "Oh, he's an absolute natural middle linebacker," he kind of knows what he's talking about.
Where are you on what the quarterback battle will look like to us, even post-spring? Like, we're having the same conversation in late April. What are we saying?
Yeah, Anthony, I think it's going to be we are pretty sure Julian Sanders is going to be the starter, but Lincoln looks good, and Lincoln's taking the first-team reps now, and there's no reason for Ryan Day to tip his hand. He never does it. Even when it was Justin Fields against Gunnar Hoke in 2019, he didn't announce it until 2 weeks before the season. So I'll be shocked if it's not Julian Sanders. I'll be shocked. That being said, I think Lincoln Kienholz looks good, and he's now entering his third year. He's going to be a third-year sophomore. He's now in his third year of just focusing on football after playing 10 different sports and being great at all of them in high school. So I like Lincoln a lot, and, he looks good. But, you just look at what some of the guys at the Combine said about Julian Sanders when asked about him. Denzel Burke is the go-to example there. Denzel Burke last year at this time, we asked him about Will Howard. What did he say? I need to see more out of Will Howard. Denzel Burke at the Combine this year asked about Julian Sanders. So Denzel's not afraid to say what he really thinks, right? He's always, he's going to be a stud. He's the man. And they like Lincoln as well. Will Howard said similar stuff. Game knows game. When I hear those guys saying that Julian Sanders is going to be the man, I'll be shocked if he's not the starter. Okay, then what can we expect from him? I think Buckeye fans need to be somewhat patient. He can't come out and be bad, but think about C.J. Stroud's first start at Minnesota. That was not the C.J. Stroud we got to, he didn't play terrible. That wasn't the guy that we got to know and love. So, he's a redshirt freshman, and I think he's going to be good. In fact, I'm convinced, guys, that he's going to be a good starting quarterback here at Ohio State. My only question is how quickly.
Those running backs last year, Travion and Quinshon, provided just so much balance for the offense. When you look at that running back room right now, Bids, could we be looking at the same thing or a similar thing to what we got from those two guys a season ago?
I think that's putting too much on James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson. But, Maddie, that being said, I love those two guys. I think my time watching Ohio State football as a fan and then on the beat, that's the best 1-2 punch I've ever seen at tailback for Ohio State with Q and Trey. I missed Archie and Pete. That's the gold standard. Archie Griffin and Pete Johnson. Archie wins 2 Heismans. Pete gets 100 touchdowns. So that's the gold standard. But so is James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson going to be as good as Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson? Probably not. But that being said, James Peoples looks great. Donaldson was a great get in the portal from West Virginia. I'm glad Sam Williams-Dixon came back after flirting with the portal. And I like the freshmen they're bringing in. Bo Jackson looks ready to play right now. I wish he was wearing the number 34. Or he's wearing the number 25. I did ask him about that hard-hitting question. Bo, did you ever think about wearing the number 34? He said, yeah, I thought about it. So, but I like the depth at running back and the talent there.
Who do you think has more pressure, Hartline or Patricia?
Ooh, I like that. You guys are asking me great questions, as you guys are wont to do. Wouldn't expect anything less than the number one midday sports show in the country. I'm serious, and rightfully so. Oh, man.
You have to go to the bathroom. You can go to the bathroom and come back and think about it.
I will
Sounded
go
like you were gonna. Guys, I would take a timeout. No, or you were stalling in a stall. I wasn't sure.
Let me talk you guys up a little bit while I think about this. No, it's Matt Patricia, because people are, and I think people are going to be proven wrong who are questioning this. I think he was a home run hire by Ryan Day. I love. We got a chance to interview him twice, and I think that was a home run hire. He's a guy that every coach talks about. We're going to adjust our scheme to the strength of our players, right? He walks the walk, and I love what he's saying about his fellow defensive coaches. He's not making it about him. I don't know if he got a bad rap or if he's just changed who he is. We know he's changed his physical appearance, but I think it's probably more in Patricia because Ohio State had the number one defense in the country last year. Scoring defense, total defense, won the national title. Yeah, they have 8 starters to replace, but if they take a step back, that's not going to look good. That being said, when the dust settles, I think Buckeye fans are going to be very thrilled with the Matt Patricia hire.
What Jeremiah Smith did last year, as you know, and as we all know, Bids, is just one-of-one stuff. But flipping it to the defensive side of the ball, Devin Sanchez comes in as a highly touted recruit, as are a lot of those guys at Ohio State, but Devin specifically at that corner spot. How much playing time do you think he could grab this year in year number 1 as a true freshman playing corner at this level?
I think it could be similar to what we saw from Jermaine Matthews last year as a sophomore. Maybe not quite that much, Matty, but I have no doubt that Aaron Scott and Devin Sanchez are going to play a lot. They're the number 2 corners. They obviously really like IGB. I know he's got to stop being so handsy, but Davidson Igbinosun coming back from his senior year, I think he's going to have a big year. Obviously, Jermaine Matthews now stepping into a starting spot. He basically played starter snaps during the playoff run really throughout the season. So those guys are outside corners. I think Lorenzo Styles Jr. will probably be the nickel. Bryce West, Glenville kid, another guy to keep in mind there. But those kids, Maddie and Anthony, Aaron Scott and Devin Sanchez, I'm not even joking. This is no hyperbole. They look like they're NFL corners right now. Now, could they play in the NFL right now? No. But, like, they look like it. Their size, their athleticism, they're big, tough, fast corners. And we're talking about a guy like Devin Sanchez that should be getting ready for his high school prom right now. I'm saying he looks like an NFL corner, but he does. So look for those guys to be the second-team corners. If Jermaine Matthews or IGB gets banged up, one of those guys will be the starter. Either way, those guys are going to play a lot.
My man, you're the best. Congrats again on joining Soho House. I know that you were looking to get into that Scloozy Clue, and you have, so I'm proud of you.
I'm just glad Maddie knows the owner.
Of course. He's always the guy that knows the owner.
Well, hey, real quick, Biz, before we let you go, how you feeling about your Bengals this offseason and what they've done so far?
I like it. I'm not thrilled about the fact that they waited till the price tag doubled on Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But I subscribe to the theory of if you have great players, pay them, or you'll be scrambling like a chicken with your head cut off trying to replace them.
The other thing you subscribe to is when the weather is unseasonable, she won't be unreasonable. I know that about you as well. So you take care, my man.
I love you guys. Have a good one.
See you, dude. See you.
Dave Biddle, bucknuts.com. And on the money. All right, we're going to come back. And what do we got? A Buckeye Bulletin on deck here? We do know that Sonny Styles is a guy we've talked about a lot, and whether the match with he and Patricia, how does he feel having a new DC? We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
March is on at Lindsay Honda.
Shoot your shot and save.
It's madness. You get to choose your finance rate on over 600 new Lindsay Hondas. 0%, 1.9, 2.9, and up to a full 60 months long. And no trade-in required. This deal works with zero down. March is on at Lindsay Honda. Save with rates as low as 0% at lindsayhonda.com.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference.
See lindsayhonda.com for details.
Montana, Bettis, Horning, and Brown, some of the greatest of all time, kicked off their careers in South Bend. You can celebrate Notre Dame football's impact on the professional game by visiting the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton to experience gold helmet to gold jacket March 14th through April 27th. And register to win our grand prize at 971thefan.com/gold jacket. One winner will receive 2 tickets to the Hall of Fame game, enshrinement ceremony, and the Hall of Fame Museum. That's 971thefan.com/gold jacket.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
We're in Raising Cane's with the man that started it all.
Wait, are you the Yes Chef guy?
We got chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries, Texas toast, and their world famous cane sauce. We'll shed a tear right now.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
At Diamonds Direct, our experts go the extra mile to ensure you have the tools to say I do with absolute confidence.
Our promise to you is a completely risk-free shopping experience rooted in transparency, education, and integrity. No pressure, no intimidation, just clarity and confidence in your purchase. But we're about more than just price. Everything is backed by our exclusive guarantees. Put our tools to the test against any competitor, and our expert staff will ensure you get the very best overall value and unforgettable experience. Learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
As of 9 a.m. this morning, our EV trucking company is officially in operation.
Andrew's zero-emission trucks are driving the transportation category forward.
We'll make driving safer, easier, and less stressful. Now our technology needs to keep up with demand.
He needs to put pedal to the metal on hiring more software engineers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, I brought this guy up last week. Can't remember to whom, but Max Clare, the tight end for Purdue that transferred over to Ohio State. And as long as you have a young quarterback, you're going to have a young quarterback this year, inexperienced, and you've got a kid that has played a lot of football. And I know he's got weapons. Don't get me wrong. I know this isn't a first option, but I think that sometimes Ohio State, the tight end, just disappears. And I'm thinking maybe this year it reappears in some fashion a little more than it has in the past, and Max talked about what attracted him to Columbus.
I think just the environment and just the people here, you know what I mean? The coaches, so much experience, and then the players you get to play against every day, it's going to make you better. And guys like Jelani, he pushes me every day, so it's good to have people like that around here. And the winning, Max, the winning, it matters. Now, like I said, he's not number 1 target, number 2 target, number 3 target. On occasion, he certainly will be a guy, but that's the thing about him is that when you think about some of these guys like Stover and guys that have come through here,
Scott,
that have made big catches in big moments,
Yep.
and I just keep coming back to sometimes when you're a younger quarterback, the tight end can be your best friend.
What's really impressive to me is when you can be at a program like a Purdue that obviously doesn't have the offensive talent or the offensive ceiling that Ohio State has week in and week out, or even year in and year out, you're still highly productive being the guy that opposing defenses are trying to take away. That lets me know you got the goods. You got the goods. So now you come into a situation where the attention that has to be, placed in so many other areas for Ohio State, specifically starting with Jeremiah. Like, I won't be surprised if he makes some noise. I mean, you look around the Big Ten last year, a lot of people love Tyler Warren, and rightfully so. Tyler Warren, second in the conference in receiving yards. The only other tight end that ranked in the top 20 of receiving yards in the conference last year was Max Clare at 16th for Purdue. That's putting in work right there, especially when you're talking about this era of just airing out the football a lot. And, life's good for wide receivers in football. And so Max Clare was highly productive at Purdue last year. I'm sure Coach Day, Coach Hartline are going to just identify week to week what the matchups are looking like. And if they feel like they have some one-on-one matchups to where Max can eat, this guy's going to be ready to go. And hopefully the quarterback play will be consistent enough to where they can get him the rock in the right spots. And if they do that, I think he's going to be getting busy.
Will Kesmerick, Bennett Christian, there are certainly guys there. Keenan Bailey has referred to a lot of these guys, and he raves about Jelani.
He's off the charts night and day, more mature. Been really impressed with just his work ethic. He's in here every night getting extra work in. I'm challenging him to learn every position on offense. Don't just be a Y, be an H, know what the Z's got. And then also be a leader. He's not a young guy anymore. So, like, he's coaching Nate and LeBlanc and those guys and Max, even harder. He was yelling at Max Clare, not yelling at. He was encouraging him to finish. Like, hey, you're a Ohio State tight end. Like, we're going to be going harder than everyone on the field. And I was like, he gets it. That's awesome.
It's okay. He can yell. It's all right. It's football. They're coaches.
You know how it is, though. When you're a coach, you got to be careful with your words. You don't want a narrative to get out there and all of that stuff.
Just encouragement. Then do it.
Yeah. Encouragement, my friend. That's great to hear, right? And you want some tight ends in your room that can, you want the guy that can be the pass catcher. You want the guy that can, do the blocking stuff. And you want everybody to be as well-rounded as they possibly can, especially when it comes to the blocking aspect of that, right? Because those guys can be an extension of your offensive line. And if you can, they'll go in those 12 personnel, those 2 tight end sets, and bully people around, especially late in games where you're trying to milk the clock and all that stuff. It's just more that you can throw at a defense. So hopefully that will develop because you mentioned it, man. Like a couple of the tight ends that we've seen the last few years have been timely playmakers for Ohio State. And you got to be hungry if you're a tight end every Saturday waking up and thinking, because of Carnell, because of Jeremiah, because of these running backs, like I have opportunities, and just hopefully that it'll come to fruition and those guys can make some noise.
Speaking of hunger, Maddie, there is an award over there at Ohio State that Mickey Marotti hands out called the Iron Buckeye. I believe we probably have an Iron Fan Award here because over at Ohio State, this is about people and players who exemplify unquestionable training, their dedication, their determination, the discipline, the toughness, the leadership. Yeah. And I think we have one of these awards at the Fan. I don't know who's ever won them at the Fan, but I know I never have.
It ain't me either.
But there is one guy in Sonny Styles and others that have won it, and Sonny's one of them, and here he is on winning the Iron Buckeye Award.
I've had a chance to win it like a few times now, but I think every time it just means more and more because I think the longer you're here, the more you understand the importance of those kind of things and what our Iron Buckeye means, and just being able to bring your A game each and every single day, despite how you may be feeling outside of this building, and being able to be the guy that someone can look at like, hey, he's doing it the right way. And, you saw JJ won it. You saw Austin Serafield won it. And, like, those are another examples of guys who are bringing it each and every day. And it's not only just, like, you can lift heavy or I can run fast. It's your character. I'm showing up on time every day. I'm bringing energy every day. I have enthusiasm. I'm excited to be here. I'm pouring into others. I definitely take that with a big chip on my shoulder, and I really appreciate that.
Man, you got to love everything you just heard right there if you're a Buckeye fan.
And you know why that is, Matty? Because complacency comes to collect.
That's right. No doubt. He's setting the tone for what he wants his other linebacking teammates to look like, the rest of the defense and the team. That's what you need. You need a few of those guys up and down your roster.
Good men?
Yes, that are going to do everything that he just said. And so this guy has figured it out. I'm sure he's gotten even better this offseason. Will continue to put in the work, and he's just going to be out there cracking face masks next year. I just truly believe that. So you get the best of both worlds with a guy like Sonny. You get a really good player, but more importantly, you get a good leader as well. And if you're Coach Day, Coach Laurinaitis, you can't really ask for much more than that. It was good stuff right there. That was really, really good soundbite from Sonny Styles.
Here is Sonny also on having a new defensive coordinator.
I think new is refreshing. So, like, having Coach Patricia has been great. The way he teaches the game, the way he teaches the defense has been great. So, I'm excited to rebuild it again. I think it's good. It's a good thing that if players on this team are able to understand, like, this team has to make their own story. You have to rebuild from step one. We're not national. Like, you won a national championship. We won a national championship last year. We have to hold on to that forever. But we got to rebuild and create our own story and start from ground zero.
Got to create your own story, AR, and then finish the story like you're Cody Rhodes. That's what they got to do.
How does he finish, Matty?
He won the title at WrestleMania. He took out my tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, what happened there?
Listen, when Roman, he had the belt for 3.5 years. You can't have it forever. But you better acknowledge him when you see Roman Reigns. I don't see your one-up. I don't. Acknowledge your tribal chief. But he's not number one. He's always your tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Number one in the program, number one in your heart?
There you go.
Number two in your heart now. All right. That's Buckeye Bulletin for today.
Oh, man.
When we come back, we'll get into the third hour, which will include a visit with Jensen Lewis, Chin Music, wherever he may be, and then the deep dive, the odds on a title now. Which hoops team are we backing? We'll give you the details next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, did you know that March has a lot of college basketball?
Why, yes, I did, Common Man. And the best place to watch all the action and play the action is at Hollywood Casino. You can reserve your table now at HollywoodColumbus.com.
Not only that, every Saturday in March is UFC Fight Night. They're showing every fight on the big screen. Watching at home is boring. Don't be boring.
All the action happens at ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. At Giant Eagle, we combine exceptional customer service and quality foods, all at great value to make the most of your shopping trip. Visit Giant Eagle or Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done and enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $2,000 off BX 2380 tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Stop by CEC Turf and Tractor in Athens, Canal Winchester, Lancaster, or Toledo to see their full line of Kubota tractors and mowers, or check them out online at CECTurfandTractor.com.
When was the last time you had your plumbing inspected? Small issues such as tiny leaks or old water heaters can quickly turn into big problems if they're not caught early. Take action with Logan Services and schedule a free winter plumbing safety inspection to help keep your home running smoothly. Schedule your free inspection now and experience the fast, friendly service you've come to expect from Logan Services.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Cole Bartimus. Ohio State guard Michi Johnson has entered the transfer portal. Michi only played 10 games for the Buckeyes this past season. He will be in his 6th and final year of college basketball next year. On that topic, we now know where Evan Mahaffey will be transferring to. He will be at Akron. Mahaffey was a regular starter last season, but was a regular bench contributor this season. The Blue Jackets return to the ice for the first time in a bit. The Vancouver Canucks will be in town tonight. That game can be heard right here on The Fan. Puck drop at 7. Our coverage will begin at 6:30. This is a big one. Both teams are just barely outside the playoff picture in their respective conferences. You know that they both won it. And we had some very dramatic opening day baseball yesterday. The Reds entered the 9th inning with a 3-2 lead, but they could not shut the door. Giants won that one 6-4. The Guardians also blew a 9th inning lead yesterday, but the team was able to recover with a 3-run 10th. Guardians won 7-4. Both Ohio teams are up today. Breaking sports news on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, back at it, final hour of the program. Jackets, Canucks, tonight, big one. Certainly everybody chasing that final wild card spot, and I'm here to tell you they are far from out of this. In fact, you could make the case that it's theirs for the taking now, and they can go out after that big win, the big comeback against the Islanders, and really make something happen here. They get Sillinger back. It'll be interesting to see how they blend this all together here moving forward, and with him especially. And, you know, because guys that have been working hard now have to come off, or somebody has to come off. So it'll be very interesting to see if they can make this push. I have all the confidence in the world that they can do it. When I look at some of these teams around them now and the games they have in hand on the Rangers, and I'm going to put some pressure on this Montreal team. They're leaking oil now. They've lost 4 in a row. Now, they did grab a couple of points in the streak, in that losing streak, but they know they're being tailgated now by the Islanders, Rangers, the Jackets, the Red Wings. All are within 3 points of them. Plus, they go on the road to Carolina and Florida this weekend.
Tough.
So I'm telling you, this is there. I mapped it out last week. You know, maybe 8-3-1. I was highballing it because I really thought they'd have to get to 90 points. You never know. They're not looking at it that way. Even though Zach admitted it to us the other day, he does look at the standings. Why wouldn't he?
He said, listen, I'm all about that smoke. He said, I'd like to feel some of that energy. I don't know if it's necessarily pressure when you're out there on the ice or if you're thinking about that when you're playing, but I thought that was a very honest and transparent answer from Z. I don't know if every guy's wired that way, but that was cool to hear, because a lot of times in sports, you'll hear coaches, you'll hear players, GMs say, you know, it's one game at a time. We're not worried about the big picture stuff. He's like, no, I'm looking at scores. I'm looking at standings. I'm looking at all of that stuff. And I think you can do both. You can compartmentalize those things and still focus on the task at hand. No doubt, AR, it's a big one tonight. This is a big one tonight. It's as close to a must-win as you can get to that saying with everything you laid out with how the standings are stacking up and what's around them right now. And so big picture stuff this season, it's been a successful year. There's no denying that. But when you get that taste of it right along the way and you start to think about what could be as far as the postseason and how you came out of that Four Nations break and all of that stuff, and you went on the slip and slide, like, you want to finish this off by having a postseason appearance. Everybody involved, the front office, the team, the fans, everybody now I think is at a point now where it's kind of like, okay, if they didn't make the playoffs, is it the end of the world? No. But based off the work that the team has put in, you want to see those guys get into the tournament and get something and really reap the fruits of the labor that they put in.
This season is wrapped up in Johnny. It is.
Yeah.
And so whatever next season's going to be, it's not this one. This one has just such an unlikely story. They really are. I've said it a million times. I know I sound like a broken record, but they were kind of a team that was, okay, we have a lot of sympathy for you with what happened. Everyone should. But they kind of were out of sight, out of mind. And then when they were playing well, it was like, okay, could they extend that all the way into the new year? And then when they went through that losing streak, when they lost 8 of 9 or whatever it was, then all of a sudden it was like, okay, the ride is over. It's fun. And maybe they heard that. And maybe there was some challenge in that room. Say, we're not going to limp out of this season. We're not going to do that. We're not going to let this thing. If we don't make it, we don't make it. But it's not going to be because we're laying down or anything like that. So I agree with you that most of these could be considered must-wins, but in the same breath, like I said, nobody's running away. I mean, there are a couple key games here. Maybe the Ottawa game on the road on Saturday would be key. It's a back-to-back, too. You're playing, after Vancouver, they got to go to Ottawa. And then they will get the Islanders at home for the last game of the year. I don't know if that's going to be for the spot or not. That Buffalo game, they should win at home. They're going to get Ottawa 3 times here in the next little while. So there's some key games. We know that Washington is going to want to play big if Ovi doesn't have the record at that point, and we get them back-to-back. So there's some highlights left on the Colorado team. That's going to be tough, but it's here. Toronto, of course, on the road. Yes, I'm with you that most of these feel like must-wins, but they're really not. Mathematically, I had them losing 3 more and still maybe getting in. So this is where they are. It starts. The run started at the Islanders, and hopefully they'll continue that.
For the most part, Jackets have been awesome at home. Nationwide Arena's been rocking. Fans have gone home happy a lot this year. And so
that 4-game run.
That's the tough part, right? Yeah. Is that you look at exactly what you just talked about, AR, that Vegas game, the Rangers, New Jersey, and then Florida, all at home, you drop those. And so here you are now with another opportunity to get that back on track and hold down the fort with 3 of the next 4 games at home with Vancouver, the Preds, and then the Avalanche. So, yeah, it starts tonight, man. I can't wait to see those guys, how locked in they are. They should be feeling good, right? Had a couple days off. Hopefully those guys got off their feet and they're feeling refreshed and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, building should be pretty electric. The other thing that's electric tonight is the second half here of the Sweet 16, getting to the Elite 8. And, I was looking at the odds now about, what team would you back now? It's difficult because we don't know. You'd almost have to wait till you get to the Elite 8 fully. But, it's really hard not to stray away from the favorite a little bit. Duke could easily win this. CB and I both picked them. I don't know how concerned he is. I told you earlier, worry would be way too strong of a word. They're way too good to feel like you'd be worried for them. But the value now is really not on them. The value's on the team they're going to play. Alabama is 12-1 to win it all, where Duke is less than 2-1. Yeah. And so, listen, I like Duke a lot. I worry a little bit about their youth, but the talent may be enough to overcome. And then, so right now, here are your tournament winner odds. And remember, we're not even fully into the Elite 8, and this is how they have them listed. Duke's the favorite at plus 180, then Florida, plus 275. That Houston team is plus 5.5. Auburn, 6-1. Bama, 12-1. Tennessee, 20-1. That Texas Tech team is 22-1. Sparty's 25-1. Kentucky is 80-1. And Michigan is 80-1.
Feels appropriate.
Where would we spread our 100 soft-earned dollars today from the Rothman and I Sludge Fund?
I think we would start with Alabama because that juice obviously shifts probably very dramatically if they clip Duke. So getting in on that now, I think, is worth some type of sprinkle at the moment.
Would we take... So if we had 100 units here, would we take half and put it on Bama? I think that may be a little too...
too rich?
There's a lot of value there. Yeah. If we took 25 and put it on Bama, that gets you 300 back. And then you'd still have 75 to work with.
Where else are we spending that 75?
Where else are we going to spend it? Would we...
CB, where else are we spending the 75?
I'm not spending it on Duke. It's just not a value there.
I agree.
I don't know. I think Alabama's a trap. I think you're wasting half your units going there. But
that's why I lowered it to 25.
Yeah, I'm okay more with that. I think the team that comes out of Kentucky and Tennessee is going to be very fascinating.
Yeah, I agree. Can Tennessee
really good
beat
value
them
on Kentucky, CB.
Tennessee beat them the first.
UK.
UK beat
Kentucky's
them,
won both matches.
Yeah. So getting them at 80-1.
Yeah.
By the way, they're a dog, aren't they in that game?
I think it's 4.5.
Yeah.
Let me check that for you guys.
I think UK is a dog in that game.
You've got your lines for tonight. Sparty's laying 3.5 against Ole Miss. Kentucky's laying 4.5. I'm sorry, Tennessee's laying 4.5 against Kentucky. Auburn's laying 9 against Michigan. And then Houston's laying 8.5 versus Purdue.
Auburn hasn't been playing their best, but I don't know where Michigan has the edge on them. I really don't.
I really can't wait to see the 2 7-footers from Michigan.
That's what I'm saying.
Try
the
to
size.
handle Johnny Broom, right? I mean, Danny Wolf and Golden, those guys work well together. They do the pick and roll together and all of that stuff. But we know Johnny Broom right after Cooper Flagg is probably right there for winning the Player of the Year award. So that's absolutely going to be a show between just some big dogs down there in the paint getting busy tonight.
The old border war, the old Kentucky-Tennessee is awesome.
Yeah.
For a spot in the Elite Eight, and this is massive. And like you guys said, they swept the regular season. So, I mean, do they have the answer? It feels like they have the answer. And that kid, is it Lanier that shoots really well but hasn't been CB for Tennessee?
Yeah, Chaz Lanier. He's been one of their main guys on offense. It's interesting because Kentucky, you thought when Jackson Robinson went out of the lineup, they were going to have some issues scoring, and it really hasn't stopped them, obviously getting past Illinois. So I think whichever one you like coming out of that game is very interesting.
I picked Kentucky before in the bracket, so I'm going to probably stay with them there. Izzo versus Beard is pretty awesome. Like, that's a big matchup.
No doubt. No doubt.
This is one of the things with Ole Miss staying alive. Ole Miss has never been to the Elite Eight, right? This would be their first time ever. Like, this would be the farthest they've ever gone in the history of the program. And so, but Chris Beard, boy, they've got a chance.
Michigan's it's going to be tough, right, for them because you got 2 teams today that are going to have very, very strong support systems from their fan base. Auburn playing in Atlanta, and then Purdue playing in Indy. And so Michigan, Houston, they're kind of up against it with that right now, just as far as the energy that's going to be in the building and feeling like they're going to be possibly playing in a road game for them.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it's weird. You got the ultimate matchup with UK and Tennessee, and then you got this like football looking thing with Michigan and Auburn. And it's it'll be pretty good. I'm with you. I said earlier, and maybe it's just a mental hedge that I'm doing. I'm glad CB's more confident than me right now with Duke versus Bama. There's a weird vibe right now, and maybe I got it last night. Maybe I got it out of my system last night because I thought Arizona hung with them, and then when they let Arizona come back, I was like, you got to be kidding me. And then they stretched out. But that thing got a little dicey at the end.
It did. And for me, Duke, at the end of the day, they have the best player in this thing. And then the guys around him are dudes as well. So that's your starting point where you got that ultimate trump card. Hey, Flag, just take over and do what you do. Like, listen, Bama's up against it. But if they roll into that game with any type of offensive momentum, the way that they did last night, then this could be a very entertaining game. But just when Flag's out there, Duke's usually getting to 80-plus easily, so they can play that game too.
I'm also mad that Maryland lost because I thought they had I do like the nickname the Crab Five. I do like that for Maryland.
Yeah, that's fair. Some of that some of that Old Spice.
From the Old
Bay.
Yes.
That Old
the
Bay.
Old
Old Spice.
Putting some Old Bay on the seafood while wearing Old Spice.
You don't want to put Old Spice on your crab cakes.
By the way, remember when we were at the Radio Row and they had the Old Spice dude there limping in with the whole deal?
Yeah, and then it
limping
took
around Radio Row,
shirtless,
bare-chested.
And then I'm like, we pieced it together after a while, but when we saw him initially, like, wait a minute, why is there some dude walking around shirtless? But no, he was in character. He was the Old Spice guy.
Yeah, not on a horse, just kind of bare-chested, limping through Radio Row.
Yep.
And he wanted us to know what a man should smell like. Yeah. I didn't get close enough to figure it out, but I do like some Old Spice. All right, we're going to come back. The Shedeur Sanders sweepstakes has turned into a little bit of a scratch-off, and the news that happened today may change a lot of stuff. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, Sorry for that. The Fan.
Confidence is key this March, both in picking the right Cinderella teams for your bracket and the right contractor for your exterior project. When it comes to your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call the team you can trust. Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF today or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts. Rub it together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring's going to be here before you know it. I know it feels cold now, but before too long, you're going to be outside running around, jogging, wanting to do golf, explore time with your family, get outside and do the things you love. Just be active. And listen, a lot of my friends, they're asking me about QC Kinetics joint treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. And if you're wondering, maybe you could be a good candidate, let's see if the answer is yes to any of these questions. Quality of life impacted by chronic pain, knees, hips, back, shoulders, other things. Trouble sleeping, walking, day-to-day movement? Check. Next, avoiding surgery, the pain, the downtime? Check. Most importantly, do you miss doing the things I talked about when the spring and summer are here? Check. Don't wait. If you answered yes to one or any of those, you'd be a great candidate. You can go in there, go to QC Kinetics, ask for their free consultation, find out what it's all about, learn about the latest advances in regenerative medicine. They've got locations in Dublin and Gehenna, or you can go to qckinetics.com/Columbus, or better yet, call 380-208-4544.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community, except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station, except Bo. The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move, a pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. We're looking at a few scattered showers, maybe some thunder into the first part of the afternoon. That comes to an end with some sunshine even possible by the end of the day. Highs in the 70s. We'll look for temperature tonight down to around 60, partly cloudy skies. Mostly cloudy Saturday, dry during the day, rain showers by Saturday night into Sunday. We'll see those rain showers turn to strong to severe storms by the second half of the day Sunday, so stay weather aware. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, a little Bet365 time. Oh, by the way, do you want to know how we did on the no home run bet?
Oh, I saw we got cooked because of the White Sox. The dinger early.
In the 3 games that we did the no home runs, do you know how many home runs were in those 3 games?
I know we picked. Remind me of the games again, AR, that we picked?
Phil's, Washington, Angels, Sox, and A's, M's.
Well, I know for sure that 2 happened because actually 3. 2 people hit one in the White Sox game, and I know Bryce Harper hit one in the Phillies game.
Yeah. By the way, Sox won. So that's one closer to that 54
battle of the basement with those 2 teams.
It's 1, baby.
No doubt.
All right. There were 10 home runs total
in the 3.
So much for Ace Day.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, because
there were 4 in the A's M's game.
I watched Teoscar Hernandez take Scuba deep yesterday. These dudes are just
not enough of my dudes.
You can't miss. Let me remind you, folks, that at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. They've launched a new sign-up offer where you bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. Customers will receive bonus bets after signing up. I'm not messing around. I'm looking at Shohei Ohtani. Plus 250 for a you-know-what. For a dinger. 2 home runs in the 3 games that he's played so far. The dude's already got 5 hits in 3 games. He's batting .417. He's one of those guys that you just watch in sports and all you can say is he's different. Shohei Ohtani makes it look too easy. He's going to do it again. If not tonight, I guarantee you he hits a home run at some point this weekend. So just keep batting it until you cash out because he's going to take care of you. Shohei Ohtani tonight against his old teammate in Jack Flaherty, plus 250 for an anytime home run.
All right, we'll have a little fun with the final Sweet 16 games here. Let's go Kentucky on the money line as an upset. We'll pair that with Auburn beating Michigan and Houston beating Purdue. And that gets me to 3-1.
We don't want to mess around any first-time goal or first goal score in the Jackets game tonight?
I was going to mess around with that, but I've been bleeding. I hit a couple big ones, about a month ago, and then it's gone dry. So, I mean,
some WD-40
I can certainly be talked into it.
I got Marchenko for you, 12-1. Monahan, Kent Johnson, Fantilli, and Cole Sillinger all at 14-1 tonight.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about Silly's minutes, and all that. He's been out for a little while.
That's fair.
Why don't we go with, I like the value you had on some of those.
KJ?
What's Fance?
Fance is 14-1.
Yeah, let's go Fance.
All right, Fance 14-1. I'm with you on that. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
You want to talk about extinguishing a little bit of smoke from yesterday and the stuff about Deion going to Dallas and Dallas trading to get a chance to get Shedeur, and wow, it all comes together. Well, all that did is leverage Deion into a new $54 million contract through 2029. All the NFL rumors were swirling around, and the Colorado Board of Regents said, let's pony up. And so he's got a new 5-year deal. It's going to pay him at least $10 million every season through 2029. And the weird part is that, the guys that he had are gone. Whatever this flirting was going on with Dallas, I don't know. But Shefty said after talking to the Cowboys that Deion kind of downplayed any notion that he wanted to leave Colorado. And now you got to believe him. Because the Cowboys wound up hiring Brian Schottenheimer, who was their OC for the past 2 years, and they hired him as a head coach. So it was just, I think this is a semi-shock for me. I thought that the timing would be right. Doesn't mean he can't leave at some point during this contract, but this tells you that his heart truly is in Boulder.
He's committed, man. And there were a lot of people that, questioned his commitment to Colorado initially when he took the job, especially when they looked at the timeline and said, okay, Shedeur's going to be there for a couple years, and after that, he'll just leave Colorado in the dust and go on to do something else. Florida State was always hovering out there for obvious reasons and all that stuff. But, respect Deion right now for committing to this university and wanting to build out the best product that he can. So, $10 million the next couple years, $11 million in 27 and 28. And if he gets to 2029, that'll be $12 million a year. So a very, very healthy payday for Deion. But now the expectation goes even higher. They were kind of unrealistic expectations, I think, out of the gate for him. But now, based off of what he did last year, it was a pretty good year. They were contending in that conference for a while down the stretch. There were some talks those last few weeks that maybe they could win that conference and all that stuff. But now he's just got to really build this thing and make it a stout program and get some of the best players in the country in there and find themselves in the playoff, a few times.
Yeah, Listen, he's done a remarkable job. We'll see if he can keep it going. Yeah. I thought that he might have tapped out there and said, okay, I did what I came to do. Mm-hmm. But he is committed. All right, so we'll get to the Shedeur stuff a little bit here. And listen, he might be a fine pro. We don't know. I do know that when you have quarterback-needy teams, every draft becomes that draft for a lot of teams. And what I mean by that is, we make the automatic assumption, they got to get a quarterback. They so need one. Some of these owners and GMs are designed, if they have some cushion, they can wait a little bit. And I always thought maybe the Steelers would be one of those teams. Now, Tomlin's not into throwing away seasons. We know that. He's always had above 500 seasons. But, I'm just wondering whether Pittsburgh is building the ammunition to make a move this year or next year when everyone thinks that that's where you should build the ammunition for. Russell Wilson signs with the Giants. Steelers could get up to three third-round compensatory picks in that draft and start building the assets to do. They get one for Russ, one for Dan Moore Jr. They'd get one for Justin Fields if the playing time shakes out the right way.
Exactly.
And he's projected to net a high fourth-rounder right now. My whole point of this is, do the Steelers have to do anything this year? Do they have to? A lot of people think they do because what are they going to do at quarterback? And Matt Miller, who covers the NFL draft for ESPN, was on ESPN in Cleveland, and he had this to say about the Steelers.
Could we rule out the Pittsburgh Steelers? I know we were just talking about them. I remember not that long ago, Pittsburgh traded up to 10 to take an inside linebacker. Pittsburgh will be aggressive at times. Now, going from 21 to 4, it's going to be expensive. That's going to be costly. But if you view this, Mike Tomlin has his team in the playoffs every year, right? So if you view this as this is an inexpensive year to move up the board, we love Shedeur can walk right into this building. He can be that option for us with these two big receivers on the outside, a pretty good run game. I think Pittsburgh would be a team that you would have to keep an eye on as Cam Hayward has said it. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are in this thing every year. For Shedeur Sanders, that's a dream landing spot because of what they have on defense and those two big playmaking wide receivers that they have.
Sorry, that was the NFL Network. Either way, I'm not doubting it. I don't know. Even if they get Rodgers, it doesn't mean he's not the future. He's 1 year. Yeah. So I'm not saying they wouldn't do it. I'm just saying that it's weird because the dynamic is the Steelers, and you never think the Steelers would throw away a season. So or they wait and draft one of those other quarterbacks and hope.
Well, the problem is when you're Pittsburgh, you're never bad enough to where you're picking high enough to grab what is perceived to be the best quarterbacks cycle in and cycle out.
Unless you have enough ammunition to trade to get up there.
All right, and then it's a conversation of whether or not you really want to give that up to get that. But, they're never bad enough to be in that position. And so, I completely agree with Matt Miller as far as the perception of the offense right now and what that looks like on paper. It looks good. It really does, especially their pass catchers between Freiermuth, DK, Metcalf, and George Pickens. Wouldn't be mad if they drafted a running back in this draft. You get some fresh legs in there, then you really may be on to something. So, if Shedeur landed there, no doubt I think it would be a nice spot for him to hit the ground running and maybe start cooking a little bit.
All right, our first chin music of the season coming next with Jensen Lewis in 2 minutes. The Guards off to a 1-0 start. Can they pull the rabbit out of the hat the same way they did last year? We'll ask him next, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The best matchup is you in a new ride at Coughlin Chevrolet, Central Ohio's #1 Chevy dealer. Lease a new 25 Chevy Trax, $149 a month. Your choice, new 25 Trailblazer or 24 Blazer EV RS. Lease for $169 a month. At all 5 Coughlin Chevy locations and CoughlинChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coughlin has the car for you.
36, 42, and 24-month leases, 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over, $39.99 due at signing plus tax, title, and license. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/25.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I always have the greenest lawn in the neighborhood. It's luscious. I swear by 2 things, water and Weed Man. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will make sure your lawn is weed-free and looking gorgeous. Of course, they get rid of weeds, but they also do aeration, mosquito control, grub control, crabgrass prevention, and flea and tick control for your 4-legged friends. For a free quote, give them a call, 614-733-3747, weedmanusa.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Crowd the plate at your own risk. It's time for some chin music with former big leaguer and president of the Bald is Beautiful fan club, Jensen Lewis.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
Yeah, that's right. He's slippery when wet because he's always at Circa. Maybe in the pool right now. Who knows? He's everywhere. He's our man, the former Tribe hurler, a multi-Emmy award-winning host and analyst. And now, in addition to his MLB Network radio, he is live on VSiN. He is the one and only Jensen Lewis, affectionately known as J-Lou. My man, congrats on everything. Update us and our listeners on your new venture.
Yeah, it is great to be with you, boys. And, now Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern Time, co-host of VSiN By the Books. You can catch it on SiriusXM and also on the VSiN Watch app. So it really has been a whirlwind tour, fellas. And a week a month, get to come out here to do our shows at our beautiful studio in Circa Sports right next to the largest sports book in the world, boys. And, it never gets old looking at this thing. It's the greatest TV to ever watch sports on and be able to bet on. So a lot of fun yesterday, and just the festivities AR having Greg Maddux throw out the first pitch here, and kind of a yearly tradition now at Circa to open the domestic portion of MLB regular season. So a lot of fun yesterday, and really cool to take it all in here.
All right, my man, you are living the life we're all dreaming about, so we'll live through you. Let's. I'll let Maddie take care of the Reds, but guess what? The Guards get to lead off the show today because they're undefeated, and they won 92 last year. They made a run at the Yanks there, but I have to tell you, and you and I talked before the season, the trade of Josh Naylor. How big of a loss is that in the lineup? How does this affect J-Ram, despite his ability to switch hit? What does that affect, you think, the impact?
Yeah, I think it's big, AR, and, Kyle Manzardo doing the performance yesterday, now on par or on pace for 162 home runs, so we may not worry about it. But, I think over the long haul, we really will have to wait and see where Stephen Vogt's lineup construction is, and if there is not a lot of resistance outside of Lane Thomas and Manzardo, they're going to have a lot of problems trying to score runs on a consistent basis. So Naylor headed to Arizona. Andres Jimenez with a home run, hitting cleanup now for the Toronto Blue Jays. I think they will really struggle in certain spots up against some good pitching. So the young kids will definitely have to step up, and good to see Manzardo do it yesterday.
Tough one for the Redlegs out of the gate yesterday. J-Lou, Hunter Green looked pretty good. So I just kind of want to go big picture with you specifically about Ellie and what he can do to get into a legit MVP race with Shohei. Shohei hits another home run last night. Magic Johnson, Tom Hanks going crazy in the crowd. But looking at Ellie yesterday, like, it looks like J-Lou, he slowed things down at the plate a little bit. I know the strikeouts were massive for him last year, but talk about his chances this year to win the MVP and maybe steal that away from Shohei, if that's even possible.
Yeah, it is, Matty. It is possible, and it was one of the first guys that I looked at outside of Shohei in the futures market, and I think you'd get him upwards of 20, 22 to 1 pre-flop before the season got underway for the Reds yesterday. And I do think that that adjustment at the plate discipline in and of itself is going to lend him to some gargantuan numbers. And so as long as he continues doing what he's done on the base paths, I think the slug definitely takes a step forward. And if he gets into that 35 home run plateau or at least that potential there, anything above that I think is bonus points, because he's got the speed to have those doubles turn into triples, and I think he can stuff the box score night in and night out.
All right, let me, since pitching is your forte, let me take you back to Cleveland. I mentioned this on the show yesterday, and the most relief appearances in Major League Baseball, the top 4 guys were all Guardians. And Gaddis, Heron, Smith, Clase, how can they ride a bullpen in April and May and not have it wear out? The story was unbelievable last year. I get it. Are you concerned in that way? And I know Cade Smith might be the best high leverage setup man for Clase, and maybe the best 8-9 tandem in the game right now. But give me a little take on whether they can somehow catch lightning in a bottle again by riding that pen.
Yeah, 100% concerned, AR, and yesterday kind of a window into, where Emmanuel Clase can't get it done in the 9th inning, and they ran out, pretty much the same fearsome foursome that Stephen Vogt relied heavily upon last year. I mean, this isn't just, a hot take. It's the data that backs it up, and regression usually happens that next season when you have guys that are upwards of 70, 75 appearances. It's just so hard to be able to recreate that. And guys, they went deep into the playoffs, so you don't even get the extra week or two of rest. And I know people are like, well, that's just 7 to 14 days. It means so much in the grand scheme of things as far as mileage on your arm. So, yesterday, again, Ben Lively having to step in for Tanner Bybee being ill, and I thought he did a fabulous job of trying to hold the line and give the offense a chance to come back. But absolutely, AR, it is 100% at the forefront of my mind, just knowing what you had to rely upon at the end of the season. And if you're anywhere close to that model, at least as far as usage goes in April and May, gosh, that is so much stress to add on to a unit that was already heavily stressed last year.
Who's a team for you that maybe a month from now, 2 months from now, they're not being talked about at this moment as a team that's going to do a bunch of great things this year, but you look at them, you look at their offseason and what they've done and say, okay, they're going to wake up some people a little bit down the road. Who's that team for you?
I guess if you want to go super sleeper here, Matty, I would look at the Tampa Bay Rays for a team that has not been talked about outside of they're going to play their home games at George Steinbrenner Field. And the injury to McClanahan to the start of the year, it was such a tough blow because I think from a rotation perspective, they've got a lot of depth. They've got a lot of swing and miss. And I think the emergence of Josh Lowe and the resurgence of Brandon Lau last year at the end of the season really gave them a lot of excitement to put around Junior Caminero, who was phenomenal in the Caribbean series and really is going to be the focal point for their offense moving forward. So I think Tampa jumps out. I would think that Kansas City and Detroit maybe still fly under the radar a little bit nationally, but I think they'll still be forces to be reckoned with. I picked Seattle to win the West this year, and I know people are like, well, they can't score to save their life. Well, maybe third time's a charm. I think it is. You get Cal Raleigh signed to that extension. We know top to bottom one of the best pitching staffs in the entirety of Major League Baseball. And, Matty, to be fair, this is the most parity I think I've seen entering a season on the American League side in the last 5, maybe 10 years. And that would have been even if Garrett Cole were healthy and Giancarlo Stanton was coming back. I think the Yankees might have been a leg up on the American League. but not by much. And we're used to seeing the old villain of the Houston Astros be the team that everyone wants to try and run down. We really don't have that in the American League. So you can make an argument for maybe 7-8 teams that could legitimately get to the World Series.
Jensen Lewis with us as we talk baseball here with the man. All right, I'll go to the other league then. I'll give you the field. I'll take the Dodgers, the Braves, the Phils, and the Mets. If I gave you those four, it feels like the NL is just where all the beef is.
And I would think Atlanta gets healthy here, AR. They're right back to where they were a couple of years ago when they had that historic offense. And now that rotation with what Chris Sale did last year, Spencer Strider looks well ahead of his rehab timeline and looks dominant in a couple of spring training outings. I think if they figure out the back end of their bullpen in front of Raisel Iglesias and they get healthy with Sean Murphy back, guys, that lineup is still super, super good. And so, yeah, I like your Braves take. The Phillies feel like last dance territory for me because the impending free agency for Schwarber, Castellanos, Real Muto. They themselves have bullpen question marks in front of Jordan Romano, blew the save yesterday too. So I think you have to be really concerned if you're Dave Dombrowski. If that lingers into the first couple of months of the season, he'll have to go out and try and acquire some of those assets to help out. I would circle the Diamondbacks, guys. Maybe the Diamondbacks and the Padres, if you want to look a little bit farther down the ledger of the odds boards there. Arizona's really good. I mean, they have got depth in that rotation now with Corbin Burns going with Zach Gallen. Back end is Eduardo Rodriguez and Brandon Pfaadt. If you've seen two nastier guys than Justin Martinez and A.J. Puck coming at you, there's not too many of those dynamic duos that are in back ends of big league bullpens. So I think the Diamondbacks and the Padres will be heard from for sure.
How high are you on Boston? There's some buzz coming out of the offseason. People really liked what they did, acquiring Crochet and some other pieces. But when you look at Boston stacking up in the AL East and, more importantly, the AL, how high are you on the Sox?
Matty, I'm as high as you can get. I picked them to win the East, and I picked them to be the number one seed in the American League postseason. I've got them in the World Series against the Dodgers. I think that Craig Breslow has really made it apparent to ownership, like, we got to go, and this is the time. And for Alex Cora to really put to bed kind of the mini drama with the Rafi Devers situation and Alex Bregman coming in, Christian Campbell's going to be a stud. Fellas, you're going to hear the names Christian Campbell, Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer for a long, long, long time because that young core is there to stay. Crochet looks unbelievable to start. I know he had a little trouble yesterday, but I think they're primed, and I think that Craig Breslow finally has that ownership in that crosshairs of, like, guys, we got to go for it, and we got to spend like a big market team.
J. Lou, what do you call a guy that strikes out 5 times in a game?
Oh, my God. Let's see. We got Platinum Sombrero. We've got Titanium Sombrero. I don't even know how high.
You know what my favorite is? You know what my favorite is?
What you got?
Olympic rings.
Olympic rings. That's a good one right there.
Do you have Churio as well? Because I have him.
I do not have him on my fantasy team, but my goodness, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with too.
All right, my friend. Go take a few laps in that pool, get some good bets in, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You got it. Jensen Lewis on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. All right, a very special edition of Tell the Truth. A big update for our show, and we'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And Bet and Reduce Juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I found a fountain of youth down there at QC Kinetics.
That's Henry Hinton, feeling like his young, active self again after treatments at QC Kinetics. the nation's leader in regenerative medicine.
I still have trouble walking down steps as I get older. I've had one treatment so far, and I can already tell a difference in my knee.
And that treatment at QC Kinetics used Henry's own natural healing properties, concentrated and placed right at the source of the pain. So Henry and patients just like him will enjoy long-term relief without surgery or downtime.
My knee is not hurting. I remember I was walking down some steps yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is not hurting when I walk down steps. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on QC Kinetics.
It's time to wind back the clock to days without constant joint pain. Start with a call to QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich is caught up in the madness, and he's passing it to you for a slam dunk of deals. He's got rates as low as 0%, leases starting from $249 a month. How about a 2025 Honda Prologue all-wheel drive Elite? Lease it for $297 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $19.99 down. And he's even throwing you an extra $1,000 for your trade. More than 500 new and pre-owned to choose from. See dealer for details at Germain Honda of Dublin.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
One of the things I had decided when I started the company was we were going to build the best window possible. We were going to give the best service possible. And I think we've accomplished that. Our reputation is built on taking care of people and building a great window and then taking care of it afterwards. It's just a darn good window.
Visit Rosati Windows and get 35% off all windows and doors by March 31st.
You can admit it. You want the greenest, fullest lawn in the neighborhood, and you're not sure how to get there. Well, let me help you. Start with the Anderson's 4-application lawn program, Oakland Nursery's finest DIY program, and available exclusively in Central Ohio at Oakland. Now on sale for $69.99, the Anderson's program covers 5,000 square feet. Plus, buy now and get a 15-pound bag of fortified season-long grub control, usually $22.99, now just $10 a bag. That's over 50% savings only at Oakland.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
All right, so parting is such sweet sorrow, like, you know, Maddie biting into a lemon. I would say this is one of those things where you think you kind of know what you're going to hear, but you probably don't because, and we're not even at April Fool's, so don't get caught up in that garbage that it's going to be that. But we are saying goodbye on the show and hello on the show at the same time. You say goodbye, I say hello.
AR's kicked me off the show, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I'm leaving. No, I'm Spartacus. Yes, that is the news. Maddie and I are leaving, and the two guys that are taking over in the room right now, it's going to be the Colin and Cole show. CB times 2.
I was about to say, it sounds like there are a lot of promotions available right now.
No, we are. We're sad and we're happy at the same time because it's all upward mobility for our guys here at the Fan. So our guy CB, our producer, will let him have the floor here on his final Rothman and Ice permanent. Now, it doesn't mean we won't be able to drag him back in here on occasion or, hey, we have no reserves, you're in. Hey, Mellon, we need you.
We need some innings out of the bullpen. Let's go.
I've always said,
news to me.
Yeah, we are. I've always said we are offering the best possible sports radio show within this price range.
And the bank account is light.
Yeah.
From noon to 3.
CB, the floor is yours.
Yeah, no, this has been in the works for about a month or so. I'm going to be stepping down from the show and doing more of my management work behind the scenes, expanding my workload with the Ohio News Network and the Ohio State Sports Network. So it creates an opportunity for Cole to move into the chair over here and be your producer Monday through Friday.
So, AR, what I just heard is I'm moving on to bigger and better things. That's all he just said. Ladies and gentlemen, he said it in a professional way, but that's what he really meant. No, all seriousness, CB, it's been an awesome ride, man. I know we got together in 2020. Who
knows? Maybe I'll even do updates here in your show.
I would love it. I would love
Trading
it.
Places?
It's going to be awesome that you're going to be around, but it's been a pleasure. You've done a great job, and I know you moving on to your next realm of this radio station, you're going to do the same thing, ball out, and just do tremendous stuff. So appreciate everything you've done for AR and I, man. Really appreciate you.
Appreciate it. It's been about 4.5 years.
Yeah,
We're
man.
almost to the 5-year mark in August. So hopefully for many more years of this edition of the show.
Yeah, CB, we are. It's weird because we were all thrown together kind of during COVID, right? In that August of 2020.
We did half of that.
We did.
About the first year and a half remotely.
Yeah, so I want people to understand that this radio show happened with all the changes here at the Fan, and it was during COVID, and they said, okay, Maddie, you're co-hosting, CB, you're producing now, and go. And it's Friday, and you'll come back and start it Monday. And I think we've hit the ground running. Listen, dude, I think this is great. You've watched from the cheap seats long enough. You want to be front row at the games, hoops, football, traveling. You ate every steak they bought you, and I'm proud of you for it. So well done. We're going to miss you, but our new guy,
So are you going to keep
CB 2.0?
Yeah, are you going to do a similar nickname for him?
What do you want us to call you on air?
Well, I was told.
Yes. By the way, the operative phrase on air.
On air.
Because we
Exactly.
call you a lot of things off air.
I mean, you call me Cole World on air. I don't care.
The reason why I call you Cole World is because I'm a big fan of J. Cole, the rapper. So I don't know if a lot of people know that,
I'm
but that
young
would
enough
be
to
the
pick
reason
up
why.
that reference.
But you have until Monday to let us know what you want to be called on air, or if you got it right now, let us know.
Look, I know where the final destination is. The final destination is people just calling me Cole Bart because I have a last name where if you know how to spell it, you don't know how to pronounce it. And if you know how to pronounce it, you don't know how to spell it. But I am a believer that you don't get to choose your own nicknames.
That's real.
And so Rothman said he had a few in the chamber ready to go for Monday that he's going to run by me.
I'm very proud. I have nicknamed several people at this station. I think the streak should end. I think that.
Really?
I really don't. I'll have to think about it over the weekend as well. You were if I looked at you and I thought pro athlete or something, like you immediately remind me of Chet Holmgren. Like I cannot look at you and not see Chet Holmgren.
I get that a lot.
Like I want to call you Chet so badly and not Cole.
No, I'll accept that.
You
one.
have gotten that before?
I've gotten that from previous bosses that I look just like Chet Holmgren.
Really?
Oh, he's
wait till
especially in the new commercial or whatever. It's
Yeah,
been.
what a pro wants, what a pro needs.
Yes.
Wait till I get the fade. It's been a little over a month since the haircut. When I get a fresh haircut, I will look just like him.
You going back to the baby face anytime soon? You shaved
I
off
don't know.
everything.
I had
not too long
I went
ago.
clean shaven for a month. I've had a beard for the majority of the past couple of years.
I'm not seeing Chet Holmgren.
Oh,
you're not?
No,
man, that's all
I'm
I
not
see.
seeing it.
Especially
If
on
my
that
Wi-Fi
commercial.
were working, I'd pull it out for you.
But no, it's going to be fun, man, to have you in here. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, man. We have great chemistry off air, just talking in the offices. So I think it'll be as seamless of a transition as possible. And thank you to Tyvis Powell for coming here and helping me celebrate.
By the way, the
is the
seamless
people's
part will be the judge of that. All right, so let's.
I'm already learning. I didn't know that Matt was eating during segments. I just saw him pull out a bag of blueberries and start eating mid-segment.
You've never heard of the almond attacks?
I didn't know it was mid-segment. I thought, like most radio hosts, he ate in the commercial break.
Listen, here's what
Bobby
happens.
was his mentor.
Yeah, I get it from Bobby. The thing
You
I
chew gum
didn't
too?
take from Bobby is you won't hear the forks clanking up against the glass throughout a segment. Bobby still does that to this day, but I did learn that from Bobby. You got to stay fueled up. Tyvis Powell taught me well. To play at your highest level, you got to eat the right things, okay? I learned that from a national champ.
That
He
I
taught
agree
me
with.
that.
But sometimes you don't want to eat when you're about to talk on the radio because
Very
you'll start
true.
coughing.
Now,
You'll get some of them back your throat.
I get those almond attacks. So that's what CB was talking about. I eat so many
there you
almonds,
go.
like the casing, the shell.
Yep.
That'll get me every once in a while. I get choked up. So you'll learn in time. Those will happen.
Slim Chetty. That's a good one.
Slim Chetty.
That's what I looked up what Chet Holmgren's nicknames are, and that's one of them, which is nice.
The nickname is going to come organically.
Probably so.
There you go.
It'll
come
be something that
organically.
he does or doesn't do, or we get. He is. It honestly, it is. I see it in the commercials all the time.
But we can't call him Chet.
No,
right?
There has to be
we
some.
can't call him Chet.
Well, usually nicknames happen when just someone does something funny in one happenstance moment,
Yeah.
and then that's it forever. So we'll find out when
your
I screw
first
up.
big screw up, right?
Yeah.
We'll have his nickname.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So Maddie wanted to do this differently. He wanted to like Dark Knight this thing and snap a pool cue and.
May the best man win.
Yeah, see which one of you guys comes out of the studio.
He bowed out.
I'm not really.
He said,
I know.
stepped down. That means he went to management and said, get me off this show. I want to do something else.
You know, there's part of us
Did you
that
hear
do
that?
believe that.
That happened. Like, enough of these dudes. I'm out.
He
I
didn't
can't stand them anymore.
He didn't say, I was moved. He said, I stepped down.
He did. He did. He
Did you
did.
catch that?
He pulled the Magic Johnson before that Lakers game. I'm not going to be here anymore. Remember when Magic did that right before the game? Yeah, I'm not going to be
No,
here.
that would have been the
That's what he
case if
pulled.
I waited until today to tell you.
Hey, real quick before we go, just some housekeeping stuff. If you miss anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, just type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Our podcast is sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Here's the weird part. We all sit together, Maddie and I and original CB. Are you guys switching cubicles?
I doubt it.
I haven't been told to, but I mean,
Sounds like
it's
I was
whatever.
curious.
It's whatever.
That sounds like a lot of
Kind of
work.
wanted to start something and see what happens, but I want to get them in the cage together and see if they
See,
can
now he
fight
wants
over.
to do the Joker scene too.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. CB 2.0.
I need to be close to Fish's office.
That's right.
Coming up on Common Man and T-Bone, the People's Champ, Tyvis Powell. He's in the house with Timmy Hill, so don't move.
But
You know
you're
what-
started.
And he got here early, 8 minutes before his show.
Finally.
So he's ready to go. We'll talk to you. Have a good weekend. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash, or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done and enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
Hey, Ohio State fans. While others cut corners, like that team up north, Valvoline Instant Oil Change is Buckeye-level quality. We train hard and treat every day like game day. We're always quick, but never rushed. And you can stay in your car while our experts do the work. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit valvoline.com/Buckeyes to find your nearest location and access exclusive fan savings.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and